Started the recording, instantly realized I'm playing music that cannot.
The floodgates open now.
Yeah, so while I'm trying to get this set up, why don't you guys give me a recap of last session to the best of your ability while I'm trying to get this set up.
Isidore was right.
Yeah.
Isidore was
So I started.
right.
Yeah, that's not what I heard.
That's not what I heard either. I was like, she was not in my game. No, she was.
I brought up the dream and the vision that I had.
Yep.
And then didn't we go and shop and try and buy more stuff, but like nothing was ready, and
Yeah, Jensen
Adam
kept
didn't
saying,
get
"I can't."
his stuff
Yeah, I didn't get my stuff.
because it wasn't ready.
And then Cornelius pulled that baller move and was like, "Hey, why don't you just? It must be so hard to focus. Will this help you focus?"
Yeah, we got VIP like treatment for the next 12
Yeah.
hours until we have to meet up with Callan's grandmother.
So yeah, and then and you are with your grandmother.
Yes.
All of us
We're gonna
are.
split that
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, we split the party.
Very one time.
Dumb of us.
Not our best move. It's okay, it wasn't us.
Yeah.
It was him.
Adam's gaming is everyone's problem.
Very accurate.
So we met with your grandmother.
Yes.
Her and Oros, and we explained the situation to them.
She's gonna give us a ship to go to whatever island.
Along with quite a bit of money.
What is the island? Adam?
Orisian?
You're ruining all the fun for me. You're making Adam mispronounce things.
Mercian.
Joyce.
I thought it was Morrison for the longest time, and it's.
I was pretty close.
It's alright. I'm sure we'll get an abysmal brotherhood at some point in this session.
Yes.
Every time.
I look forward to it.
He tried not
Scraggy. I really do. I really try.
We traded the dead dragons to pay off the ship ride.
Yes.
We also, much to Anari's reluctance, sold the dragon egg.
Phoenix egg.
Phoenix egg.
Phoenix shard.
Oh yeah, Fairy got laid.
Yeah, so you sold the Phoenix shard for a lot of money.
I still have it right now, though, right?
We haven't got
You do.
We haven't gotten
Yeah, I
paid
hadn't
yet.
given it to
Yeah.
her. We're gonna
the
get it
next
that
level
morning.
shit.
No, you did give it to her.
We still have it because
We
it was
have it.
No.
it was to be traded on.
Pretty sure she took it
Day.
immediately.
No, it was on Embarkment Day because she said we'll trade.
She
on
said,
the
"Do you
day."
want?"
right.
Yeah.
So
And
she
you opened
still
the
has.
divine gate, so we can't get paid, and she can't get the shards.
Bummer.
And then
I never did anything. Weird. These accusations are so weird.
So
The
weird.
I
gods have opened
Met with Oros and working on exploring the potential of my cool robot body.
Yeah.
I am a robot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you things you never knew about yourself.
There's like the birds and the bees, and then there's the nuts and the bolts.
Yeah.
They're just like
The nuts
right
and
in
the
the
bolts.
middle.
Yeah.
They're somewhere in between that right
Nuts
now.
and bolts
Hey,
make
you know?
way more sense than birds and bees.
Way more sense. Like,
So I could fling my hand.
Exactly, it makes sense.
I have a limp mage hand.
You just slap somebody from
Yeah, I
afar.
have a weak grappling hook, essentially.
Like
I'm
a
gonna
dog's
get
handshake.
you that hand that's rubbery.
Yeah,
Oh,
sticky
those
hands.
are-
Pretend while we're here.
oh, please
Hand
don't.
ignite.
I saw a meme this morning with one of those. He goes, imagine using one of these to get the condom off the nightstand. What a power move that is. Do you have protection? Yes, I do.
Check Abby.
Seduction for sure.
So yeah, you guys pretty much summed everything up. The important ending note was that the rest of the group is, for the most part, at the temple of the Fane of Freya. For the most part, I think you guys all described you were just kind of drinking, having a good time. Callan was with his grandmother when they noticed the sunset had an interesting glow to it and went outside to see, where Lady Asana yelled to everyone to get inside, and she also brought you back inside. and slam the door shut. That's where we leave off. You guys look to the sky, and the sun is setting over here, but this large, orange, bright spectra of light is in the sky, and it's beaming. The light is going from a low orange to like a bright white, and it's pulsating in that way.
Is it having heat? Is it like, can you feel it through the windows? Is it producing heat, or is it just light?
It's light right now.
Are we starting to get a better gauge on how far away it is? Like how big it is, all of that?
It's tough to look directly at, but I'd say no.
Okay.
It's really difficult to tell the distance.
I was gonna say, I got my little sunglasses I usually wear. Am I able to at
Look
least get?
right into the
Am I
light.
able to get a little bit of like a shape? Is it just spherical? Is it a cube?
Is it a cube? Is it a hexagon?
Yeah. For Rhombus, get that here.
A rhombus
Is
for
it
sure.
Make a perception check
Please tell me something
with
fun.
disadvantage because
That's what I was
you're
thinking.
looking
You're being
at the
blinded.
sun.
I mean, he has his glasses on.
Well, I don't have to look at my thing. I was a 3 on the die. I think I only have a plus 3 or something there.
It's so bright that it's hard to pick out any shapes.
You almost take damage. It's so bright.
Yeah. You're blinded for 1 minute.
Have Caehanna and I made it to the temple because we were
Yeah, we
sprinting?
were outside.
I'd assume so. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I don't want that much
Um,
separation.
So
But
dramatic.
we were coming back.
Right, but if y'all got caught outside and he's already with his grandmother, it's like part of, yeah. It'd be like 3 different sections of us.
I'm gonna reach out to Freya and just like ask her like, Freya, can you hear me? I don't know what's happening right now, but I feel like it has to do with what's transpiring between you and Malice right now. And you don't need to speak to me. Just show me some sign that you're okay. And that's what I'm going to
Okay.
pray to her.
Roll a d100.
That's a 9.
Wait, no.
We are 6.
We were 6, yeah.
Oh, he does it
I was
differently.
thinking I was thinking of the
He's doing it different now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And we have no idea yet.
So your prayer gets sent out, and there's a tension that's stronger than you've typically felt whenever you pray, and it's difficult to tell if it's your own stress, if it's your own panic, if it's something in your own head forcing you to overestimate the situation.
Yeah.
But something in that panic, it's difficult. It's like static. It seems like you don't feel that same connection to Freya.
Okay.
I know
It feels like when you go to dial a number and it's just like that.
Dial tone.
Yeah.
Mothman. Sorry. I know this isn't pretty obvious, but this isn't normal, right?
No, this is far from it.
This is
I want to look around at people in the hall and just see how everybody's reacting, see if there's anybody having not a panicked reaction to this, just like watching, like,
good idea.
Sun's falling again.
yeah,
Casual.
or just eerily calm. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Make a perception check.
First roll with my new dice, like real roll.
So let's see how they perform. No pressure.
Yikes.
You have to use the black one.
That's a 12.
Well, that's
Hey, that's middle of the road.
Yeah.
Do you have any modifiers on top
Let's
of
go
that?
average.
That was the +4, so I got an 8.
Oh shit, never mind.
It's having performance anxiety.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't.
new.
You're new. It's okay. We'll warm up.
It's also difficult for you to tell. It seems like as a general rule of thumb, with a 12, I mean you're not able to like read minds, but you can tell other people are also concerned or confused. I don't know if you guys would have been able to hear Caehanna boom her voice using thaumaturgy, but you would notice if you're looking out the windows, there's no one else outside anymore. Everyone's locked in their homes or businesses.
Yeah.
We definitely
I was
heard
like,
her.
we heard her.
We definitely heard her.
Oh, yeah, y'all two.
But
were
you guys
there.
were outside.
Because we were hauling it when
We
she.
were-
Yeah.
We were just walking until she
Yeah.
came outside and was like, get inside. And we were like,
Well, here we go.
boom. Let's
Did-
go.
Did y'all see anything while you were out there?
The setting sun seemed particularly bright, and then we realized it wasn't the sun. And then that's when High Lady Asana came out and
Yelled.
shouted to the entire
To get inside.
city to get inside.
What do we do now? Do we need to just hold on tight?
Did she say what it was?
No, she just told us to get inside.
Is it still lowering? Like, is it lowering down?
It's just pulsating.
How fast is it? Is it getting faster? Getting slower? The pulsating?
No.
Are we noticing, like, I don't know, is the ground starting to shake? Anything outside of just the beaming light going
Rocks
on? Or
floating? I don't know, like magical phenomena.
It's fucking bright.
Don't look at the sun.
You don't notice any sort of magical phenomena besides the pulsating light in the sky. But again, it's also not, it doesn't seem to be intensifying. It seems to have gotten to a point, and now it's just stably, sort of in a cadence, just.
I want to fire off a divine sense.
What's the
And
range on that?
I mean, it's 30 feet or 60 feet. It locates celestials, fiends, or undead, but really what I'm using it for, I'm tapping into that to see if I'm completely cut off from Freya or if, like, I can still draw on her. Like, I'm, with getting no response, but feeling some kind of tension, I'm worried that she has been hurt in some way or, like, sapped of her power or something. So I'm using a defined sense to just try and, like, reach in, tap into that connection and see if I feel the same feeling I do every other time I've used it.
You find it difficult to feel any sort of response to the different types of entities that usually would be easy to distinguish. You look at Boss, right, Nefaria, knowing she would be considered of celestial blood, and it's just she's not radiating that like she usually is.
That's weird.
I need to speak to my parents. They're the dyad of this vein, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but there's something wrong with my connection with Freya right now. Do you have a way to reach out to Aratok? Because I would try and make contact if I were you. The Divine Gate affects all of us.
and as soon as he says that, I'll just kind of get comfortable.
Plop down, just.
I'm not.
Be like, I will definitely reach out. This is worrisome if that is true.
And then so I'll sit down and I'll just go to sit and bow my head and just start, chanting some of the scripts that we have and see what I can do. That's a 2.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We're rolling so well on a D100 in conventional terms.
I can low roll. I can roll low, guys. Can't speak, but I can low roll. Ugh.
Low roll.
Let's
Low
just,
roll.
Thankfully, I'm not speaking today.
Take 2 lights.
I can low roll.
I got low roll.
And what do you say?
Aratok, some mystical light is beaming down upon us, and for some reason there's concerns of reaching into the gods and goddesses. Please, with your fine grace, let me know your presence in here and what may be going on.
So in this room full of all kinds of people, some cloaked, some not, some drinking, some socializing, but more than you've ever seen it in this room, it's quiet. It's no one's really speaking, unsure of what sort of tragedy may be afoot. as you speak outwardly, asking for air talk, you watch as all of these people that are kind of looking around, taking a slow sip from time to time, you notice all of them sort of like freeze. Your friends, you don't see them breathing, blinking, not moving.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hear the door of the tavern kind of creak open, and for the first time, seeing not just the silhouette, but seeing a almost formed being walk in. You hear sort of the clinking of metallic spurs behind her boots as she walks forward. She takes a seat, takes off her hat in front of you, and she just sits down on the ground, crosses her legs, and looks at you. She has these, like, almost pristine, like, features about her. Thin, but almost to a point of, you can tell that she's probably quite athletic underneath all of her clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like long, flowy black hair. Her eyes sort of glow with this. It's odd. It almost looks like there's like a hint of like blue and gold, where it's like this shining kind of. It's almost like the eyes are glowing from behind her, but just little flecks of gold within. And as she sort of looks at you, you can see that the gold is the more prominent color. The blue is sort of in the background. But she looks at you now and sees you, not just a specter in the sky, but sees you. She says, "We're fucked."
Well, I will say as soon as she walked in and sat down, I probably would have like went into like child's pose and like put my hands like kind of bowed in front of her on the floor, like almost nervous to even look up. And so I'm assuming I'm gonna be like this, not even looking at her when she goes, "We're fucked," and just gonna be like a. Do you, blessed Eratok, I'm forever grateful for your presence, and I hate to question your presence here, but do you mind elaborating?
This world is fucked.
Well, that's not good. How so? What do you mean? How can we stop it?
We don't. I've positioned myself as a being of neutrality.
And that is true.
Meaning, when these sort of quarrels come up, I step to the side and allow whoever wants to be the new, most powerful being to be that person. And I just continue to live my life.
I'm gonna kind of sit up a little bit, listen intently.
I had far too much conflict in my mortal days to care for this now. But being that you're still on your mortal path, I see how you would want to stop this from ending your life.
That is a particular interest, I might add, yes. Is there anything I can do to stop it, or my potential friends that I'm currently developing?
From what I can see, currently developing. I'm currently grooming and growing.
Some may be closer as friends than others.
From what I can tell is a being of hatred, a spawn of one of the primal gods. was locked behind a divine gate by a few of the gods you may know.
Malice? Is this Malice?
Malice was locked behind,
Correct.
as well as a few other powerful, dark, hateful beings. They were locked behind this gate with the sense that no one would ever want them back. And without the want of the people, the gate would stay strong. Unfortunately, for some reason, mortal beings are fucking stupid.
Of course, and compared to your brilliance, there's no way we could ever compare.
Why they would want this... Why they would want him back, I don't understand. But apparently they have circumvented power that has held him back for thousands of years. Through sheer want and prayer. Communication and contact has given him power. In the same way that
I'm gonna like, she's talking to me and I'm gonna look at you for you're like, so sorry.
in the same way that I gained my power. Same way that Sol and Luna in the sky. Their power is not through creation, but through devotion. Malice is no different.
I'm assuming this is the gate that you're referring to.
It's holding on, but not for long.
How can we stop it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not entirely opposed to taking out these humans if necessary. If you think that is what is best, of course.
These humans?
No, not, well. That's up for debate. If you see fit.
Staring at this.
Taking the lives of those that have done no wrong seems like the following of malice.
Oh, of course, understood.
Are you familiar with the goddess Freya?
I have actually recently been introduced to a follower of her.
Her power is far beyond mine. And
No one could ever be more superior to you, madam.
grow up. I'm a young...
Like,
deity.
she's like, the person I've devoted my whole life is telling me how well I love her so much.
I'm a young deity. Compared to some of the primals, my power is nothing but a single strand of hair on it. I cannot compare to those that connect to all beings. My reach is relatively small. I promote self-sustainability, love, caring, neutrality. And you and my followers have done that for centuries. Freya's followers have been loving each other since the dawn of time.
I have noticed quite a bit of love in this community, more than I'm familiar with. I'm learning of these ways that you speak of.
We've all experienced love in our lives. It's more powerful than you may understand in your current state. What I can tell you to fix this, at least if you choose to step in that direction, you must find your power again. You must gain your tails back. If you ever think to confront malice, or if you think you may aid Freya, but I fear she's in trouble, as hatred seems to be pouring over this land. Apparently, whoever wears a silly crown is very important to these people, and it's causing a disruption.
What kind of trouble is she in right now? Is there anything we can do at this moment?
What we can feel, us lesser beings, seems as though she is somehow pulled to the gate and is trying to focus all of her energy on keeping it closed. If you watch and she looks up, you just, even though everything is still, the pulsating light has not stopped. So every 2 or 3 seconds it gets dark and then bright and then dark and then bright. You can quite literally see her power fighting malice, as if 2 beings holding a door, trying to break through. Find a way to help her. Keep the gate secure. Maybe you'll save the world. But I can't stress this enough. It does not matter to me. I want you to do this for you. Don't do this for me. I want you to pluck the eyeballs from that dirty rat piece of shit, the Night Stalker. Do that for me. Save the world for yourself and your friends that are being groomed.
I'm unfamiliar with thinking for oneself based on my raising, my devotion through the high order for you. But if this is something you request, then I will do my utmost.
I hope we speak again.
I will always.
Under different circumstances, of course. I haven't been in this form in some time.
It's quite majestic. I have been blessed. Thank you.
She stands up and sort of puts her hat back on and just tilts her head to you. Says, I guess I'll allow these people to continue living. And she snaps her fingers and she poofs away and everyone just kind of goes back to, talking and breathing.
Isidore's over here just drinking, having a good time.
Yeah, I'd like to think that there's like a moment where someone's pouring out like ale from like, and it's like it's just like halfway there, and then it's just frozen. There's like the liquid drops, just because, it's fun to play with time.
Like when I look away, I can still see the spot in my eye.
Static?
I've never seen you relax so completely before. What,
Relax, she's straight as a bolt.
I don't think I've ever seen her speechless before.
I told you to reach out to Aratok and you just went slack-jawed immediately. I don't know what's...
She spoke to me.
Okay, so there's still a connection there. That's good. What did she say?
I saw her. Oh, I think I may cry. Oh, we're fucked, by the way. But she's so beautiful.
That figures.
I've never had a drink before. I think I need one.
Oh, that's new. Push her in.
Can you talk
Do
more
I look
about
okay? Do I look okay?
beautiful?
Of course.
Oh, can you go back to the fucked part?
Yeah.
Can you go back to the part where we're fucked? We fucked by this ball of light, or fucked from other places?
Let me collect myself. I'm sorry. She's just... Oh, she's beautiful, I have to say. We're all gonna die. I might say that.
This is what she said?
Her exact words were, we're fucked, actually.
That
You
doesn't
fucked
mean,
the
that
shit.
doesn't mean
Her
death.
vocabulary is a little bit
That's-
more crude than I was
doesn't sound like
expecting.
a god.
It doesn't quite come out. In the high order was a little bit more refined when they referred to her teachings to us. Less cussing normally. But,
Yeah, the divines are beings like the rest of us. They'll speak candidly if they wish.
Yes. Oh, you. We need to talk.
Okay.
Your goddess, Freya.
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 Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Yes,
Freya.
I've never really
Yeah.
cared too much before this moment.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Yes.
Fair.
What about because I'm extremely worried about her at the moment.
Yes, Freya.
We'll work on it.
Was that not right?
Freya.
Fucked! Get back to that!
Yes.
Yes, free out and fucked.
Apparently. So, the light in the sky, that is indeed the gate being released. Freya.
Okay.
I got it right.
Yes.
I'm so wonderful. Freya is actually there now, preventing it from being released. So, she is, in essence, under distress.
That would make sense about why.
So I think she's a little busy.
Well, that's better than the alternative. Okay, so.
But yes, in essence, and then I'm just gonna kind of relay everything.
Yada yada yada.
7 hours later.
Still staring at the
Okay, well, I'm
gonna take a big old drink of whatever it is that they gave me that I've never had before.
What did you need?
I need to speak to my parents at this moment. If she's locked in a contest with Malice at this moment trying to hold the gate closed, then she's going to need us, all of us, everyone who follows her. Do I see my mom or dad anywhere around?
Yeah.
Do not leave this building
I'm
without
not.
telling us.
I'm not going to.
Melicroft, it's you're like looking at Isidore like I'm not going to. Isidore, you look at him and for like there's like a 2-second period where like he goes like in his eyes, like the power goes out for a second and he
I was
comes
wondering
back,
if that was gonna
and
happen.
he comes back and like the purple light go, but to him it's like nothing changed. He was like, I will not leave this building.
power shortages.
Did we see that too?
Why did you
Maybe,
leave?
but it's hard to tell. The main indicator that he has powered on is his eyes, so he was looking at Isidore.
Okay.
Anyone else, I mean, could see it.
But it wouldn't have been.
You glitched.
What?
You turned off for a second.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither, but
Yeah. No, I mean,
I thought you didn't sleep.
You're
you
not
turned
here.
off. Your eyes went.
What do you mean?
They went out for a second.
Okay, that's concerning. That also tracks with the rest of the stuff that's going on. I am animated because of Freya's will and power, so
So Freya is keeping
Afraid
her power for this.
if she's concentrating on keeping the divine gate closed, then, well, if she's using up that much power, well, I don't know. My mortality right now is not my concern. Freya's safety is what I am concerned about at this moment. So I appreciate you pointing that out. I'm not going to leave the building. Let me know if it happens again.
Building?
Oh, okay. Yikes! And then I'm gonna go talk to my dad. Hey, Dad, have you?
Crazy.
Yeah. I have been made aware that the light that we're seeing is Malice trying to open the divine gate or break through it. Freya at the moment. By the way, I may just like stop moving. I think. But you are a cleric of Freya. Can you try manifesting some of her divine gifts to you? I know that you have things you can do, little divine magics that you have. I know.
You watch him sort of focus for a moment, and
Less impactful ones.
yeah, he looks sort of at the ground around him. He waves his hand, and nothing happens as he's trying to activate one of his own channel divinities. that aren't working.
So,
Yay for low rolls.
it would appear that Freya right now is devoting all of her attention and energy into keeping the gate closed, and I believe that she needs all of us, every one of her followers, to give what we can to her at this moment. I mean, we need to pray, we need to channel our thought, we need to be sending her help. I think for the first time in my entire life, Freya needs our help and not the other way around.
Whoa. Well, I guess I'll get your mother. See if she can help.
As the two of you are the dyad of this congregation, I figured it would be better heard from you and Mom instead of a giant metal man waving his arms and frantically crying about Freya being... you know how I can get, so...
I do. Let me send some sendings across the continent to see if we can align our efforts. That seems to be the best course of action. Do I look panicked to you? I feel panicked.
I'm gonna be completely honest, you've never looked panicked in my entire life, so no.
Okay.
Good
to know.
I can understand that you are. I'm incapable of looking panicked, and I'm sure I still do. So, yeah, let's see what we can do to help.
Okay. You watch as he goes to his temple and starts sending two other dyads across the continent.
That's cool.
Everyone else, are we doing anything specific in here?
Did we hear this conversation?
Which one?
Probably.
I mean,
How far
if
we
you cared to,
go.
I mean, as far as wherever rooted was, so.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
if we knew
I wasn't trying to be secretive about it.
Right. I'm thinking if we knew that was the directive, then that would be something Fairy would start trying to bring everybody together to try and pray. Hey guys,
Put the drinks down.
maybe start paying attention to your prayer leader over here.
No, hey, no, not that. That's why I went and told Dad. I mean, he has a great way of getting people into his vibing, they call
Okay.
it, I guess.
That's it's getting brighter. We're just what do you need us to do?
Do we need to fake pray?
There's no such thing as
Think
fake
of past
praying.
fake praying.
I think we've established that that's not a thing.
I can.
Well, if you
You were the tipping point. You were the last person who needed to pray to stop this whole thing.
if
There was 1,000,000 to 999,000.
yeah, if you want to reach out to Freya, you can. I mean, she's an accepting goddess. She doesn't really turn people away. This is going to sound really ironic given what's happening right now, but honestly, have a drink, try and laugh with each other. I don't know if there's anyone that you need to tell that you love them and that you care about them, or if there's anyone that you need to forgive. This is some heavy stuff, I know, but just that's how we worship Freya, is by loving the people around us and being kind to them and providing for people who need that help.
I don't want to die again.
And as people are becoming increasingly more concerned with what's happening around us and becoming angrier, that sort of connection between people is being diverted. And I know she doesn't necessarily need any one person's worship to have the energy that she has, but I'm sure she could use whatever help she can get right now. So, and we would not know this without Aratok communicating. So I appreciate you reaching out.
As I was informed, apparently Freya is a very powerful being, per Eratok's words. So I am thankful that she is around, and it seems as though we need to do whatever is best to keep her around. That makes sense.
It does. It's the first time I've ever heard you speak of any deity that's not Aratok in that way.
Well, Aratok did tell me to rise above. That's
Well,
it.
Beautifully said.
Well, thank you, and thank Aratok for lending your efforts. And I will do the same for you. After this crisis of faith has been rectified.
Chuckle. Melicroft, you have a collect call. Do you accept? Just kidding. You hear in your head. You hear in your head.
Oh, baby. You've got me now.
You hear a familiar, friendly voice. Female, elven, old colleague of yours, Shalane, speak to you. Says, Danae, I'm sure you're seeing what I'm seeing, and you told me to warn you if you may be in danger. We're not sure what's going on here, but we may have made a mistake. We may have messed up. You might be in danger. Hope you are safe. End of transmission.
You can bud this.
Mentally, I don't know if she can hear me or not, but I don't know if you're able to understand my reply or hear it, but God damn it, Shalane. You know what? I forgive you. I mean that, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and honoring that agreement we made. And that'll be whatever I say back.
Mm-hmm. You get another sending from Shalane, and she says, glad to hear you're okay. I'm not sure if I deserve to be forgiven quite yet, but I can work to earn that from you and your friends, and hopefully the rest of the realm. But for now, it seems I have work to do. Good luck. End of transmission.
May the odds be earned.
Yeah, I'll just continue on.
Callan,
Yep.
you with Granny.
Yeah.
Asana. Asana is frantically in her office space. Seems like she's putting pen to quill. Nope, quill to paper.
Pen to pen.
Trying to reach
Which
as
is
many
quill.
of the other high lords as she can. And she is constantly going back and forth through sendings, through everything that she's able to. It seems like she's working hard trying to figure out
Yeah.
next steps. What?
Sorry, that was Tristan talking to Tristan.
It was a quote. What's happening, hot stuff?
I'm just imagining like a red telephone situation where like she's literally putting a quill to a paper and like every major leader has a sheet of paper and it's being written on their paper at the same time. Like
Like a message board, like a forum.
literally like they
Or like
can
a
write
magical
something and they
message
all
board.
can read it at the same time.
It is now.
That mental image is so sick.
Need to bomb this thing from orbit, send it down.
Has she told anyone what to do in the castle? Is she like given instructions, or is it
She said
just?
stay inside, and then she stormed upstairs and he followed. Assuming you know.
So does she have a window in her office? I'd imagine it's getting brighter and darker.
Yeah, I mean you can see it The same pulsating.
Can I look outside? I don't want to look at the light, but is it doing anything? I want to make sure it's not doing anything to the outside. Like, is it burning? Is it?
No, it's just light. It seems it's hard to tell. It's only been a few minutes, but you don't feel like there's any gamma rays or nothing.
Yeah. Well, grandmother, you must be busy with your protection of your city.
She's like writing. She's like, what? What?
I'm gonna return to my group.
No.
They may have information, grandmother, of what is happening here. I don't.
Doubtful.
Can I kind of look over her shoulder to see what she's writing?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You see that she's just writing, please respond over and over again, like just nonstop. Please respond. Please respond.
Is it like disappearing on the page, or is it?
It's like, please respond. Please respond.
Mm.
And there's no sort of response coming up.
Are you able to communicate with anyone? Have you spoken with grandfather or mother?
I did. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all.
What do you mean by like places being attacked? Or is it? I mean, right now there's just a light on the city, and as well as
forget about the light, Callan. Small problem. Apparently, this is an opportunity for those who are looking to do very devious things. This is simply a distraction at the moment. This is not to be concerned with.
Mm. Well, it's not much I can do for you, Grandma. Then I'll kind of leave there, and then I'll go find a balcony. Is there a balcony that's not 7 stories up?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
On the 144th floor. As you go to try to leave the room, she like closes the door in front of you. She says, "No, I'm not losing you. We're staying here until we can figure out what's going on."
Okay, grandmother.
Your family is being hunted, Callan.
Is his mother all right?
I don't know. No one's responding. Jericho told me it's chaos in the capital.
Wow.
Apparently your great-grandfather returned from
Very good.
whatever happened and has been under siege. Turns out that the Deltants, the Aztecs, have turned and are attacking. And it's not safe in Redborough. I don't know how much longer it'll be safe here, and I can't get your God's forsaken grandfather to respond on what is happening. So for the moment, you are not to be walking around in public.
Can we get my group here? We can go get grandfather on his ship. I mean, we could extract our, I mean, if it's of help, your ship would help us in ours. We could help you by getting grandfather. And mother. I'm not too worried about father, but let's get mother out.
If you think you can get your mother out of there, get on a ship with me and you.
Well, I never said she had to be willing. Her and my sisters would be willing, no qualm. But
The sweet
mother would put up a fight, but you know.
put up a fight, to say the least.
Mother is quite scary, but if it's for the best interest, and if grandfather's there, well, you know, can you just keep her calm?
problem is, I'm sure you've deducted there's no one here in my stead. I cannot leave.
I'm not saying you had to go. I mean, you would stay here. I would go. In
So you want
the
to
name of
take our ship to a place where it is currently being sieged by 2 different high families and their armies.
In a rescue mission, yes.
Realize the last ship that went into that airfield was bleeped out of existence to who knows where for who knows how long.
That is true. But this ship won't be carrying the Elder King. It'll be carrying me, and they won't
Just
care.
someone on his bloodline.
True. It's either we sit here and do nothing and wait for a reply from grandfather, or we could give him help. And my friends and I, we may not be the most powerful, but we do wield some power.
I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I am more concerned with your grandfather causing more harm to those others than him being hurt. I fear more that in his fight or flight response is destructive.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, there's probably a lot of dead people in Redborough, to be honest. But
while it's just you and I, that's fine to speak this way. But remember, you're still, regardless of your title, you are still a prince of the family. Please have more tact in the way you speak about those who
I
passed
meant
away.
more as grandfather is very powerful, and in all of his power, I understand.
She's got to still be a grandma.
Yeah.
I understand that there is a consequence to his power. But the Aztecs and what's the other family?
The Deltons.
The Deltons are quite powerful themselves, and 2 against 1. And a lot of great-grandfather's forces are probably indisposed, or even for the Deltons, being of the elder military. Grandfather's in a disadvantageous position at the moment, especially if he's protecting Mother.
I'm extremely concerned. I know, like you're saying, it's 2 versus 2, but this is not an even playing field by any means. We, as the Teleri family, we are not warriors here. We are not smiths. We are just happy, loving folks, religious folks. The Aztecs have quite literally built our militia. We're gonna need a lot more than just hope and a prayer on a ship to get them out. I'm going to continue to try to reach Jericho.
Well, you may not like the idea, or grandfather may not like the idea, but his name's Peter, right? Peter?
Yeah, you knew a name!
Yeah!
You're talking about, well, let me make sure you're talking
Shark.
about Shark.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Peter, or as he's now known as Shark. Shark wields a very large, unofficial influence and quite a big number of swords that are below the city, probably in chaos, or if he's keeping a rein on things. I don't know the situation he left with grandfather, but he's always influenced by money. If we could get to Peter.
You see her over her shoulder, you see her writing something. And actually it would be over the shoulder because you walk to the door.
Yeah, so I'm like...
You see her writing something, and then like as you're talking, a little smirk goes, he is quite resourceful, isn't he?
He wields, a lot of influence in the Undercity.
She just kind of flips the tome around. It's like this kind of rock-backed like tome. Mm-hmm. It's essentially like it's like a book, but it seems to be like on this like 2 slabs of like a piece of the mountain, like the rock, with the paper is kind of like in between. And She flips it over, and it says, "Peter, are you doing okay?" And he says, "Yeah, everything's under control down here." All it says. He's like, "I don't know if I expected anything other than that."
I'm surprised he didn't say I don't know nothing, but
he's smarter than that with me. And then she says, "1 second. You're not taking my ship there.
Well,
the city is currently apparently there are efforts to evacuate instead of defend."
Well, they're evacuating all of Redborough, or just
those that aren't acting against the crown. They're going by ship, water, and apparently they're trying to march south. Unfortunately, information is limited from the Undercity. He seems to always know something.
Oh, that he does.
1 second. And then she goes back and she's like, "Oh, thank goodness." And by the time she finishes her sentence, she says, "Oh, thank goodness." And like this circle kind of appears on the wall, and walking through is your grandfather Jericho.
I will instantly.
He's got blood splashed all over him, and you see him wielding two like black bladed rapiers, and he's like,
I will instantly be on a knee with like my head almost to the ground.
he looks over at Asana and looks at you. It's like, "What's he doing here?"
I'm not saying anything.
There's like a moment where the two of them sort of like whisper, conversation out of earshot of you, and then he's like, "Secondary problems. We need to fortify the walls." And he like starts giving out orders, and he just like walks past you without eye contact, just walks past you, slams open the door, and he starts yelling orders to the soldiers that were within earshot about fortificating the walls, creating like magical wards around the exterior of the city. He says, "Luckily, we're not much of a threat to these people, but these are still my people." And he's like talking to Asana. "These are still my people. They need to know they are safe here. Good job." And he gives her a kiss on the forehead. "Good job, keeping them inside." What in the fuck is going on? You have anything to do with this?
You actually know that.
I mean,
you don't know right now.
So no.
With, sir, are you with the Deldants and the Aztecs?
Deltons.
We can make a laminated card.
Flashcards.
The Deldons.
It's like he remembers just enough to get it wrong. At least he could have been like, "Oh shit, what was the first one?" No, he remembers Deltaunt, but he remembers Deldaunt. Just enough.
In the Aztecs, I had no hand in them betraying.
That's good.
But I do, with the light that is happening, the things with the gate, my friends may know, but we have no hand in the till, to be frank. But we do know that, what was her name? Laura? Lana?
Lenora.
Lenora just received an item called the Blade of the Night Stalker, which was taken from us. It was a mercenary mission to reclaim, and and she forcefully took it, and that was the last we saw of the Aztecs. And we made our way here on other business, and I was visiting Lady Caehanna, and was going to go back to my troop.
He looks at Asana. You believe any of that? She just sort of nods quietly. Alright. So, now that you've fallen all the way to the depths of a mercenary, what use can you be to us now?
Well,
you
I
said
don't.
You have a group here, right?
I have a group of friends who are.
Other mercenaries, I assume.
Yes. We called the Inconspicuous Eight.
Yeah.
I love that canon because it's never been said. Has it been said out loud before?
Oh no, it's been said by him.
I
But
love
not
that
the
canon.
people.
It's Callan's going the Inconspicuous Eight.
Well, now's the time to bust them.
And he's gonna throw from context. He's like, thieves.
No, we're more mercenaries. As far as I've been a part of the group, no thieving has been done.
Where'd you get the blade?
It was in ruins, and we found the person who it was in. And she's alive now as part of the group.
She's a friend.
So
We made a new friend.
When you say it all out loud, it sounds so ridiculous.
we cut it out of the body.
I found it in my new friend.
You mean on
In my friend.
It is a.
Yeah, just keep talking. Yeah.
Patiently waiting
Sir.
for 800
Sir,
years.
but we are fairly capable, and
You gotta
currently
context that.
we think we have a lead on the explosion that happened to the Elder King and his ship on the island of
Mauritian.
Mauritian.
And he looks
I was
at
about to say
Asana.
Morelli.
He looks at Asana with his eyebrows raised. He's like, the island no one's been to.
Yes,
My friend's parents.
Sir Jericho. A friend. His parents were working on that technology when he was a child, and we have received information that they might be there on that island, being held captive by the Astral Brotherhood.
Look at him.
Astral Brotherhood.
You're 1 out of 10 right now.
I'm like 3 out of 10.
Damn. Good job.
The Astral Brotherhood, after defeating one of their members. And he is a member of House Kima.
So the Kimos are somehow in cahoots with the Brotherhood, creating this.
Involuntarily. They were kidnapped in front of his eyes as a child.
How do you involuntarily create a bomb?
How old are you? Yeah.
He's like 29. something like
22.
You're
He's asking me a different question. How old was I when he was?
Yeah, like how long ago were they kidnapped?
15 years ago.
So it was 15 years ago they were working.
21.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
Also, his old lore keepers in your group.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's a hat.
The Kima said that his parents were working on adjacent technology 15 years ago, so I'm not sure if they still have a part or are still alive, but that is the only lead we have at the moment, as he remembered the purple smoke as a child. And
Listen to me. Before you say anything that could potentially become treasonous, I just want to be heard and understood that no member of my family has partnered with someone who has directly created an explosion directed at First Lord. So understood.
Yes.
You know
Sir
him,
Jericho.
but you are not friends with him. Understood.
Understood, Sir Jericho.
These are things that, in these moments, can be used against our family, used against you as a petty way of execution.
I would like to add that our old lore keeper,
Danae.
Danae. I was about to say Devontae.
Danae Velstadt.
Danae Velstadt is alive and in a different form than he used to be, but is a member of this group.
Brovid's boy.
Yes, he is our caretaker, to say.
87? That is very much what you are.
I will say it. Life's full of balances. Because to have a son of a trader and then someone with a heart and stable mind as Danae, there's got to be some balance. What's this lead? What do you need from us, and how can, again, I feel like you spoke circles, but how can you be helpful?
We are very capable in our specialities.
Murder. We've seen your capabilities then.
Ouch.
Well, I was. Nope, I'm not going to say that.
Choose those words well.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
As he's still literally covered in splat. I'm typically pretty intimidating.
As Adam, I was about to say, well, I was trained very well, but that doesn't come across well.
And then Adam creates his next character.
We are quite capable in that field of combat, as well as very capable in magical means. And Danae is very knowledgeable about the world, and we can provide a very forceful sword and magical hand.
How do you plan on getting to Marissa?
I'm just gonna kind of look at Lady Asana.
Asana looks at you, realizes that you're fearful to answer based off of how this conversation has gone.
Yeah.
She looks at him and just sort of like, and he looks over and she's, I told him he could take the ship.
Probably the only person who could say.
She's like, and if you have problems with that, we can discuss it once he's gone.
I'm gonna press my head a little harder into the floor.
And he looks at her, he looks back at you, and you expect like, I don't know, some sort of eruption. But he says, fine, I have more important things to worry about here anyway. Bring it back in one piece, will you?
Understood.
And my crew.
Understood.
Maybe take the crew, can his people do it? Just like, keep it back in one piece? Anyone know how to fly a spelljammer ship?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, they only need the captain. Can the rest of your crew hold their own as far as I just know I know Danae's build, so like can everyone else carry their weight, as it were?
Yes.
Because I'd rather protect my crew from potential death. If I'm going to lose my ship, I'd rather not lose my crew as well.
I imagine that my group can be told what to do, and we should be able to accomplish it.
Alright. Captain Niccolo. Well, he'll be the only employed member upon the ship. He is the captain. He speaks as me on that ship.
Yes, Sir Jericho.
I look forward to your return.
Kind of just stand up very slowly, bow, and kind of walk backwards out the door. And then, like, once I'm past the door where you can't see me, it is like power walking at a sprint.
Asana catches up to you as you're walking. She's like, I'll escort you.
Okay.
Slow down now.
Yeah, like I'll like a beat puppy behind his mom.
She kind of walks beside you.
Okay.
And there's like a moment where she is like the grandma again, and she's just like, "You're fine. He just came out of battle. You know how it is. They get very you know, there's a lot of adrenaline and
yes.
you know how it is. Let's get you to your friends, and doesn't seem like this situation's getting any worse right now.
Normal time, or same time, agreed upon time tomorrow, or I guess in 12 hours now, or 10 hours, whatever. Or now, I don't know.
Let's try a little earlier. Let's do it at dawn tomorrow.
Okay.
Now that we don't need the whole crew, I'll just inform Niccolo.
Alright, and then I will. Once I'm at the door, and I will. How long has it been? Like, I know that we separated, and then
all
the
of
thing
this
happened.
probably happened in like 30 minutes.
So okay, so it's only like 6 p.m. right now, then I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I was gonna go to
sorry. You all separated hours ago. This was around the same time as sunset. That's why it was interesting.
So it's like midnight right now, kind of thing.
No, that was the extreme farther end.
Okay.
It was like sun probably sets around 8 p.m. And so this was probably
8:30.
30 minutes after that. So
Okay.
it's just like typically it'd be almost nighttime now, and so the like undulation of it going from like bright to dark is a lot more extreme because it is like dark out versus it being sunny and it's just bright to not as bright. Now it's like bright to dark to bright to dark, but it's non-stop.
Strobing.
Yeah, like every like 4 or 5 seconds, it's like a slow pulse where it's like.
Okay, and then I will sprint to the tower.
She's like, wait for me. She's like, no one will be able to catch you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Very fast barbarian.
And you just haul ass, and you get to you banging on the door, and I'd like to imagine that everyone is still sort of in a state of shock of what's going on, and you just hear
The whole
Let me in.
There are people saying, it's Malice.
He's here.
You hear someone like, is that Conrad? No, it's your boy.
It's your boy.
Oh, goodness, it's Callan.
Good of you to.
Callan is as white as a ghost. Like,
Thank
drink.
God you're back.
Like Callan has like you see like one already being done, and he's like,
I'll shut the door behind him as he comes in.
oh,
Any news? Anything you can tell us?
oh. The Aztecs and the Dilettantes are revolting, trying to take the throne.
I knew
My grandfather is back. That was fun.
Jericho, is he as
Terrifying when he's covered in blood. Yes.
I was going to say salty, but yeah.
Yeah, he's back. Wasn't planning on being there when he got there.
So blatantly attacking the capital now.
He came back covered in blood, but he came back by himself, so I'm not sure how things are going, except my grandmother did talk to Shark, which was fun. They're evacuating Redborough of people who were not against the Shazaran family.
What about the Undercity?
He said everything's under control there, but it's Shark, so, you know.
That tracks with right before you started pounding on the door, moments before, I received some communication from Shalane. Based on our agreement. So I believe that, and I don't know what your grandmother has told you, but I would believe that this is some sort of sign for either the society or the brotherhood to mobilize, because she told me that I'm in danger.
She did say that this is more of a distract. People are using it as an opportunity to commit heinous acts.
And
so I don't know if it's more of a sign or if it is this is happening, people aren't looking, let me stab them.
Shalane said
two bad things happening at once.
She said that she fears they made a mistake. So.
Well, you know, praying to an evil god is a mistake. But Thankfully, my grandfather is still approving of us going to Mercian. But there is definitely a lot more riding on that now. I apologize to you, Cornelius. I almost said Chauncey. Cornelius.
Secrets.
I told him that your parents were kidnapped, but he thought of the politics of it. I don't know how things will be when we return, if we return with your parents. But I'm giving you the warning
I'm
now.
sensing there's an undertone of potential danger.
There's a potential of being
They
viewed...
were kidnapped. I don't know what's wrong with that.
them being viewed as traitors for creating the technology that was used.
Did you tell them an important part about how it's against their will?
Yes.
You know, coercion is a thing.
Yes. And it will be better once we have all the answers, but he also just came out of battle, so I'm trying to warn you that be ready to speak when we return.
Fantastic.
With a person who is heavy-handed upon his blade.
Well, if my father and my mother, one of them's alive and we can find them, then they'll speak for themselves. I mean, they have far more pull, at least.
But I just want you to understand of his mindset going into this.
So you put me in line with the idea that my family's traitors.
I didn't. I said multiple times it was involuntary and kidnapped.
So he thinks my family's traitors.
Yes.
Fantastic.
But
even better.
I stressed the point of involuntarily and kidnapped, but it's always so much when everyone views the world in the eyes of politics.
Well,
so
I mean,
much
if
can be done.
you ever get a chance to meet my uncle, he's not one to exactly hear other people's certain angles. And if you, what is it, your grandfather says? Came back from battle, I'm sure he's not going to want to hear anybody else's stories.
Yeah, but we meet tomorrow at dawn to get on the ship, and it should only be the captain. He doesn't want to give us the rest of the crew for the ship, so we may have to man the ship.
That's good, because I think none of us have ever worked on a spell jump before, so that'd be smooth.
Written on one, yes. Worked one, no.
He was happy to hear that you were still alive, but he thinks you're old. So, well, I guess you are old.
I mean, he's not wrong.
But he was pleased to hear that you're still alive and in part of the group that I am in.
Jericho can be an asshole, but
yeah,
he is a good man at heart, and he cares for his people deeply. So
I know. I felt it.
Callan, you're saying that that people are in open rebellion against the throne.
Yes. The Aztecs and apparently great-grandfather survived whatever he had gone through. And Aztecs and Deltants are revolting against the Elder Throne at the moment.
If my understanding of history here remains true, your great-grandfather is still the king until another is chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Thaldrin is not the place where someone is murdered and might makes right. There's a democratic process for a reason. That's why everyone chooses who the next Elder King is, outright murdering the sitting one.
When you control the Elder militia, you might have more of a reason for it.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, Callan, if Redborough is being evacuated and your family is being hunted, I'm sure your grandfather knew this as well, but you are a surviving member of this family.
Yes.
And until a new family is chosen to rule, that responsibility could potentially fall on your head if there's no one else to accept the mantle.
Help Ulta if that happens.
So, Callan, I know that that's something you probably don't want to
I
know.
do not, because that would suck.
I would never call you king.
I wouldn't want you to.
The irony of my being kicked out of the militant just to protect another Shazera is not lost on me.
And I'm potentially standing next to one of the best connections in the entire world.
Don't do that.
Did you tell us that? Did you mention the two family names?
The Delton and the Aztecs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know that the Delton is the Leonor Delton, right? Or is it Leonor Aztec?
Aztec.
Aztec is the controller of the Elder Militia because he's the Elder Militant. Do we know anything about the Delton? Like, what are they? Do they have an Elder personnel member or?
What's her
Yes,
connection
what do
with
we
the
know?
militia?
Yeah. What do we know about them?
About them.
You know that the Deltons are the lords of Boulder Drift, kind of that river family. They have that long-standing toll bridge that they.
But do they have any? Is any part of their family an elder member? Like I know that there's the elder militant.
where's
Is there
the
like an
avenue
elder
of success?
admin? I don't know.
One second, let me see if I can find that.
Yeah.
One
Elder
of my
taxation
many
people.
Yeah,
notes that I
like-
have somewhere.
Where are the Aztecs? Like, where do they
Base out.
rule?
I was gonna say shoot.
Sorry.
The Elder Deltont is the Elder of Secrets.
Wow.
He
Do
is
we
the-
know what that
he
is?
the spy master.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Spider.
those
Essentially,
two,
Yeah.
if they could have more support from more families, especially the more prominent families, them overthrowing the Elder King is just a matter of action. Whether or not it's precedent, or maybe they found a way to blame the Elder King for something to remove him from power.
Well, between the two of them, they either have the physical might to kill him, or they have the deception enough to
Or the
persuade them to
information.
move otherwise.
Yeah.
Melicroft or Danae would know. Well, roll a history check with advantage. Yes.
Do you
In
know?
this form, you may not know.
Do you know what city the Aztec family leads?
Mhm.
Where do they live?
Excuse me.
Drydale.
Drydale.
Okay. Okay. Man, so they're coming from both ends to Redboro.
Yeah, so technically Boulder Drift is right below this one.
History.
Come on, buddy.
That is an 18.
Not bad.
So you recall that some 50, 60 years ago, before the current iteration of the Shazera family was on the throne, the Deltons were actually the elected next family when tragedy struck, and it was never proven, but there was assumptions that a member of the Shazera family was involved in such tragedy, which is how Gerald ended up, who was the first lord, ended up on the throne. There was never any proof to this.
They're taking
But,
the throne back. Damn.
Speaking of the Deltons, they were elected some 50 some odd years ago, give or take, to be on the Elder Throne, and something happened. I can't recall the details of that, but I know that power fell into the Shazera hands, and that's how Gerald came to power. So perhaps they view the Elder Throne as theirs to claim. And if I understand correctly, we've got the Elder of Secrets and the Elder Militant at the same time trying to capture the throne.
Oh, I doubt it's a try at this point. I mean, if
It's also,
people
it's also important to point out that the First Lady is also Aztec. There's been no reports that she has done anything to betray, but she is also an Aztec.
either way, our agenda is to go to Mauritian and see what we can find there. And I would imagine knowing my grandfather as he is hoping we find some way to connect the Astral Brotherhood and their machinations and the explosions or whatever to the Aztecs in Delton that he could then take to a public forum and then use that to dethrone, attack, change minds. We'll go from there.
I agree. Mauritian should be our next move. And given that Cornelius, your parents have been abducted by the Astral Brotherhood, and that they seem to convene around Fanes of Freya, whom I worship. That light we see in the sky right now is her trying to keep the Divine Gate closed. So it hasn't broken yet. Also, I've been, I would say I've been made aware, but, kind of hard not to tell that my goddess is literally using every ounce of power she has to keep it closed. So I may not, stop moving for a moment.
Do I have to hit you to restart you?
No. It's if
No.
if Freya doesn't have the energy to keep me moving, then I just won't. I'll cease to function.
That's wonderful. So you just may die off and on.
Well, I'm technically already dead, but
die?
Turn off. See if this turning off.
Semantics aside, turn off. Semantics aside, I'm currently having my mom and dad mobilize what followers of Freya they can to devote some energy to her. So all of this to say that I have a feeling that all of these threads are coming together, almost like a story someone's written, and that we should be looking for Cornelius.
Fell from the sky.
We should be looking for Cornelius's parents and trying to figure out what's going on with all of that.
Well, we should gather as many resources as we can. Outside is fine. I mean, it's weird going from bright to dark. I'm not sure anyone is willing to deal with us at the moment, but I know we have horses in the stable outside.
Well, we have until noon tomorrow, so that's fine.
Dawn.
When?
Dawn.
Whoa, I paid that little shit 1,000 gold pieces to get our stuff done.
Yeah, we might want to go visit him because Grandma's expecting us at dawn.
I'm going to be sleeping inside of his work studio or his office space, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, we can always just take Jensen with us, I guess.
I'm not going to pay him $1,000 every time he wants something done. 1,000 gold, rather.
That'd be cool.
I do like that idea though.
Yeah, I know.
Just taking him with us.
Could be a work
You're gonna
study.
join her
Yeah, I
party?
mean, I don't know how long it'll take to fly.
You can be our intern.
That would be one hell of an internship to go to Mauritian and back. I've been to a place nobody's ever been.
I'm sure there's plenty
Save
of
for your
material.
resume.
Also, whoever wrote this story kidnapped my parents, and that's fun.
There's a mirror right there.
There's one right behind him, too.
So I would imagine that we all get some rest. I mean, you might pray all night, which I understand, but
All right.
I would imagine we should get some rest because the next couple of weeks are going to be rough. So,
All right.
well, the next few years might be rough. Who knows?
God's help us all.
They're busy, I think.
It sounds like it.
Well, we can tell at least one of them's busy.
Yeah.
Some are just floating around.
Sol and Luna are just back there like, you do. We already did ours. You do yours.
Yeah.
I mean, other than being a woeful inconvenience to try to get some sleep.
I.
It's bright.
You guys do know that the rooms have blackout curtains.
I didn't see
You wish.
No. I've spent many years here. They have blackout curtains.
You might also want to say bye to your family.
Oh.
I don't know how long we're going to be gone.
I will. I had planned on it.
So I'm going to head to bed. I'm fucking exhausted after meeting my grandfather. So
Okay.
I'll go to bed too.
Yeah, I'll join the girls.
Anyone joining you?
No.
You know, the next time you're gonna get laid.
You gonna go find your boy?
No, the girls are gonna have a girl night.
Ways to worship Freya. That's
I
He did. They did worship Freya. Fertility.
yeah. Hey.
True praying.
Is that what we all need to do?
One big orgy to save
Let's save the world.
That's one way to advertise it.
Well, when you let followers of Freya know, hey, it's time to worship, everyone is welcome to do that in their own way.
Goodness.
And I'm going to collect my family and explain what's going on to them.
Weird segue to talk about.
I was thinking the same. I'm gonna collect my family and do just that.
Look,
We're going to worship together.
Danae created this family through worship, so don't even get on my case.
Well.
We're getting weird about it. Let's get weird about it.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
So, is anyone leaving tonight, or is everyone in for the night?
I'm in for the night.
And
I didn't know if you were going because you said you're gonna go sleep in that kid's.
Yeah, well,
are you
I was
actually gonna do that, or like go talk to him? Or
well, I would say, real quick before, Meadowcroft, did you parents have a way to get something to Hardmore as far as like a package? Or if I entrusted some money to them, could they get them to a certain person?
They could, considering that
Well, I don't know if they would leave, I guess.
Well, I mean, there are people traveling to and fro all the time. Many people make the pilgrimage to the temple here. However,
Would they sell that right now?
if we can't do that from the temple, we are going to his family home. I'm sure Jericho can very easily get something to Hardmore.
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you know. He did just say that he thinks I'm a traitor.
yeah, I'm sure he would help him deliver a nondescript package.
Yeah.
Packages.
Nope.
Who would the package be addressed to?
It would just be money to my brother Aldwin.
So that's suspicious. Just
And
a package of cash.
Just a package of gold.
And Aldwin is
My brother.
Is he a Bexley?
He refers to himself as a chemo. We don't have any other Bexleys. There's only one that. Okay, how about Elrel? And it could be Elrel Bexley, and she'll take it.
I wouldn't ask my grandfather. I wouldn't ask my grandfather anything. I wouldn't have asked for anything either. I almost tried to run when he came in.
My grandfather won't know the name Bexley more like, because my father wasn't around enough to make a name of himself. So
I mean, he would. That's not what I'm saying. That you, being you, asking them something is what I'm saying. I'm referring to. I almost ran out of the room when he portaled in. So, you know.
Is it not too late to still have you be the number one on the throne?
It's
more like a.
Cornelius, let me speak to my parents, the Diane, and I'm sure we can get something worked out to get that package.
I will entrust you with 1,500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Isn't Jensen going to go back to eventually the college?
Well, not if. Well, one, I'm going to talk to him and be like, hey, could you do your stuff on the show?
No, fair point.
And so I'll be like, hold on to this. Just know that it's supposed to go to Elrel Bexley. And I'll write a note and explain what it's supposed to be for. And then I'll give him 1,500 gold for temporary purposes. And then I will go ahead and say, I'm going to go see if I can find Jensen's place. Give him the old talking to and see if we can figure out a way to get this done sooner.
He's done nothing wrong, by the way. Jensen is just slaving away work.
Yeah,
Give him the old talking to.
He's in his workshop just sweating.
You guys are out there drinking, having a good time, and he's slaving away. It's like, I'm going to teach this piece of shit kid a lesson.
How dare you fucking work on the things I tell you.
He's probably stuck inside, has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, no windows.
I'll
No
go to
windows.
Jensen's and see if there's any motion on the inside.
Okay. So, yeah, you get to Jensen's, and the cloth has been closed. It's still clearly shut down for business, as it was when you guys left. And but you hear there's like stuff going on. So as you push your way through, do you say anything as you walk into the? Because he's not going to be in that open area. He'll be back in the workshop, but.
I go all the way past where the workshop is, and if he's walking around, I'll just be like, you're doing fantastic work. I don't know. He's
got like goggles on, and he had like like earmuffs because he's like banging, so he's like protecting his ear. He sees you. He's like, sorry. He takes off his headphones, his goggles up on his head. He has like this like, like the circles around his eyes.
Just
and, like,
suit
dirt,
outline,
yeah, dirt and suit and stuff. So.
Well, I'd just like to say, based on your jarring motions, that these boots are doing a fantastic job of being quiet. Granted, you had earmuffs on, so I suppose that's a little bit of disadvantage on your end, but we have an advanced timeline. I know you're working very hard. I do. You may not be aware, but there's a giant gate thing that a guard's holding closed, and it's a thing. Anyways, I was wondering 2 questions. Would you like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lead this continent far away to the ancient land of Mauricia?
What?
I know. It doesn't happen to everybody. But I'm offering you a chance to go.
Have you been?
Many times.
What would have
Yeah. I know that was coming.
These roll well.
Okay. Alphabetical. Okay. Straight roll for me. 17.
Wow.
Not bad.
Oh wow! I've never met anyone who's like been there and came back. What's it like?
It's something that is hard to explain in words. You have to see it to believe it. Kind of thing.
Is it just that different?
It is that different. I mean, people are like taller, maybe even shorter, right in the middle of the
I heard rumors of like monsters being there.
That's right, rumors. Exactly that. So, I would like to ask, is what you do here capable to be onto a ship, flying through the air to Mauricia? Can you do that?
Why would I go?
Well,
I guess I don't see where...
It's a chance for you to get out and explore the world, and if we need any more things, it's an opportunity for you to get even more gold. I can't pay you if I'm not around.
I can't pay you if I'm not near you.
So just come with me.
It's your fall break.
Yeah.
But I don't think we could get that back before class.
Wait, when's your next class?
About a month and a half.
Schedule these things so close together.
Lie again, buddy. Lie again.
Well, listen, the thing about it, so you may not know this, but there's certain magics that allow time to be a little fluid. We may be able to get you there. You know what? Not may. We will for you. Get you there. Back. He's kind of like, alright, listen. I need these items to be done lickety-split in the morning. For the people that I'm with, to make sure that we can go to Mauricia and then get back just A-okay. Right? Incredibly dangerous. I don't have to tell you. You and I just talked about it.
It's dangerous. You said there were rumors.
Yeah, rumors are usually true. So, I'll be honest, kid. One kid to another. What is it you need to do to get this done? Whether it be money to work harder, which I know you're doing a one-man job, or is there any way that I can assist you so we can get these damn things done faster? Because I just paid you $1,000, and we're not going to be here to pick this up.
He's like, well, I mean, the only thing that I really had that I was doing was the sword. And he looks back and he's like, I finished those gauntlets for the big guy. Those are done. He's like, you can take these.
Yes, I'll put those on right now. I'm kidding. Okay. Sure, thank you.
I don't know. You didn't pay for those yet, right? You just gave him a slip. It was 300 gold pieces.
I think we all paid up front, didn't we?
Yeah.
No, because he gave you guys slips. He wrote out slips for everyone. No one paid up front except for whoever you did because you had it in stock.
I paid up front for.
And I paid for my sword.
Yeah, you paid for your sword up front because it was just the one thing. But everyone else.
It's like, oh, I'll pay you later.
Well, everyone else has already paid except for Callan because he was the only one that didn't get his stuff yesterday.
Oh, I didn't get mine yet.
What did you get?
The invisibility clip.
I came back, remember?
Oh.
She's on the second round of items.
That's in today's.
Yeah. Q.
Right.
Yeah, because remember you couldn't make it all pretty like I wanted it.
Yeah, you cannot do that at all. Yep. So, if I remember right, it was. Well, apparently I don't remember right. What else was there? Because there was the invisibility cloak. I know you had the +1 sword. His just needed an extra day, which those are done. No one's got anything else, right?
I don't think I had anything
Okay.
else.
Okay, so I didn't forget too much, just the one. Okay, cool. So he's like, he's working on the sword. He's like, yeah, I got the shawl done.
Okay.
I could probably get, I can get this done by morning. It's not a problem. I'm probably gonna work a few more hours tonight, but that's all it takes. And the swords aren't super difficult. It's just a matter of getting the enchantment to stick. You know? Oh, you probably don't, but it's just, it's not that hard.
Damn.
I'm not a guy who's good.
Yeah, that wasn't a jab. That was.
You think he, with all of his brothers and sisters, gives a shit about it? I was like, I'm not the one that does the magic. Okay, well, if you can get it all done, that's great, and you can rest up because you're not going with us, so you can sleep in because you're not going on an adventure.
This is a weird sales pitch.
Yeah. Okay, well, it looks like I can't really do anything other than just give you more time back by leaving. I'll take the 2 items. Are you squared up on payment for those? Because it seems to be a thing around here.
Yeah, I believe so.
Paying. It seems to be a thing.
Besides the 300, did you?
Paying for
300 for that.
other people's stuff.
Gauntlets, that was all I need.
I give him the 300. He goes,
Thank you.
in line for the crowd, and he doesn't have any money. I'll make sure to deliver the shawl and the fists to the rightful people. I'm going back to them. Well, I'll leave you here. I'll be here bright and early in the morning.
Where are you guys staying?
We are at the big meat hole thing.
The fame.
Brisengamen is what it's called.
What's it called?
Brisengamen.
Brisengamen.
Okay. We're at the.
Never heard that until right now. Brisengamen.
Yeah. We're at the
Send it to Shane in text messages.
We should wait for Adam to come back and see what he comes up with.
We're at the Spritzengamen?
Spritzengamen.
Something like that. The place where they serve lots of drinks and you're supposed to pray there.
Oh, right. By the tower.
If you don't find me, you can find the tall guy, Mellagroft, or literally anyone else that's in our group. But
Okay.
I will probably be here before you wake up because I've paid you money for the.
Cool. Yeah. If you want, I actually been sleeping here. So what I can do is I'll leave the sword out on the counter in the front. And
You can keep you can keep the flap closed and.
Sure.
hide
Yeah,
up
no one. You're the first person who's ever just walked in when it's closed.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're just leaving it in the shop.
yes. Leave it. You know what? Leave it right here where your workshop is once it's done.
Well, this is
It's
where I
a
sleep.
big sword.
You can leave it here. I'll be stealth. The boots you gave me. Remember?
That's true. Okay.
You won't even hear me in here. The boots.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Or I can try to do a delivery to the tower, but you will all be sleeping when I'm done with this in a few hours.
No, you'll be done in a few hours. I'll just sit and chill.
Please don't do that.
Please get out of my
I'll
home.
stand and chill.
It's very comfortable with people watching me.
Fine, I'll be back in the morning.
We joked about
Okay.
how you are line for the throne, you need the money.
Yeah, he paid for your gauntlets.
I already paid for it.
You may have taken it out, but no one had paid for them. Unless you paid the day you guys came back, but they weren't done yet. I don't think you paid for them yet.
Okay.
It made for a good joke.
Well, you come back after 30 minutes or something. And be like, so, talk to Jensen. He'll actually have, I think, the sword thing for you, Bellancroft. Back off again. Ready in the morning. He got me these really cool set of gauntlets. That's 300 gold, by the way.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I don't really give a shit right now. Anyways, and then there's this thing, which is really weird, because every time I do like this, I disappear. Here's your. He called it a shawl. I don't really know how big it is compared to what it's supposed to be.
I'm not quite familiar with fashion names either, so as long
So
as it
as
does
you-
its job.
As you throw it on, it's essentially like it's a cloak, but it covers more. So the way it wraps around is it's kind of almost meant to be like worn as like a closed robe as you walk around.
I love robes.
But it's like this velvet like material. It's just very. It doesn't seem like it'll keep you warm, but it's very like luxurious feeling. Not that you are familiar with luxuries.
What color
My,
is it?
my hope blue.
Hmm?
Okay.
That's the best he could do. It doesn't have any of the like beauty elements that you were hoping for, but it is like a dark like navy blue.
Whatever airtop blue is, that's the blue I wanted. So.
It's like ocean blue, kind of like that dark, yeah, deep blue.
And now that you're back home, Melicroft, your sword will be ready in the morning.
Off. Shit, it happened again. Thank you for letting me know.
Also, just out of curiosity, is this sword like as big as it needs to be
It's
for
fucking
him?
huge.
Okay, well, I told him I'd go pick it up in the morning, but I don't feel like dragging it through the streets. So
I
you
should have
better-
asked you to ask him to make it glow. I can't see in the dark. Oh well.
Yes. And I tried to recruit him to go on the ship with us, but apparently he's worried about going back to school. And I told him he was really missing out on an opportunity, but
But if he took place in the, you know what? I'm not gonna press the point. If he helped save two wildly popular people that owe their allegiance to the heart. Why do I care so much? What is this about me?
I don't know.
Just
tried to convince him to
things,
go on
magical
a
things.
potentially deadly adventure to Marissa, and he didn't budge.
Potentially deadly didn't budge. Well, there's nothing else going on tonight. You all get a long rest.
Yay!
Not that I had any.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
It's difficult to tell what the morning is, but you eventually wake up.
What's the attributes to the invisibility cloak?
It should be in there.
You just search it.
Oh, okay.
It should be an
normal.
item you can
Okay.
look up. If I remember right, it's something like a certain amount of charges per day that resets at dawn that you can use, and it lasts like an hour, maybe 10 minutes, one of those two.
Oh, I like it. Thank you.
It's a
Standard.
yeah, it's nothing that I created. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here before everyone wakes up in the morning.
Wait.
Okay, here we go. We're back. We're back like we never left.
Coaster.
Yes.
Alright, what are we doing here?
Sleeping and then heading to grandma's.
Sleeping.
Yeah, no, just any normal day. You wake up. There's a attack on the capital of the Shazera province, where also the High Lord of all of Thaldrin was at for the Harvest Festival. And then also there's this beaming light of a divine gate holding back hateful, dark
Apparently
entities.
it's not that important.
Normal Wednesday?
Yeah. Pretty typical day. So,
Yeah, so y'all get woken up to me praying to airtop. Good job. No morning chance.
All right, we gotta go. It's dawn. We got to go.
All right.
So we stop by Jensen's. Have we had anything left at Jensen's?
The sword?
Well, yeah, I probably would have been there early in the morning. I told you you'd be there early.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
if I escorted you out with you, then I
Yes.
suppose.
All right, then we'll meet at Jensen's and go so we can be there before dawn.
So we'll probably get up pre-dawn.
Pre-dawn.
5:30.
How would you know when pre-dawn is?
I don't know.
Sit along
If
on
it's
Siri.
still light, it goes dark, you know.
Maybe the people who
It's
still.
it's hard to tell with the light flashing all night. It's hard to tell when the sun rises.
I'm gonna get real nerdy.
Mark's circadian rhythm knows.
You put a
Nail in a candle.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so glad you were on
What
the
were you
same
gonna
page.
say?
You put a nail
Oh, yeah,
in
you
a
put nails
candle,
in
and
candle
then
and
you
candle, and then the
can
candle
calculate how
melts
long
and
the
makes
candle
the
burns.
noise. So that wakes you up.
We also have people that don't sleep in our group, so
Uh-huh.
they can wake us up.
That's true.
and so I would have caught up with my family and explained everything that was going on before, like,
It's like
retiring.
a perpetual Rolex. That thing just does not even need to be wound. He's just always just.
I like to think though he's talking to his family and he's like, we were gonna go on a long trip to.
And I want to go check in with my parents. I know I'll probably wake them up out of sleep, but I want to touch base with them to see if they've made contact with other fans.
I bet if I were you, I'd want to do that too. That's just a problem. As you all wake up, you realize that Melicroft is out.
Fuck no. Shit.
No!
Ting,
Did you,
ting, ting, ting,
did you
ting,
get that
ting.
thing I sent you?
I did not give him my gold yet.
It's something like, whatever you do, don't let me off forever.
No. I'm just letting you know that I have
not necessary.
Okay. I have thought about this, so.
Alright, shit. Fuck! Melicroft, wake up! Ting, ting, ting. Freya, we need him!
I told this asshole his sword would be ready in the morning. I can't lug that big piece of shit around.
What kind of sword is it?
A giant fucking. I didn't see you finish
Is it
work.
as big as mine?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
I think it's bigger than yours.
No,
Look at it.
It's bigger.
It's definitely anime sword
It's
moving.
so it's technically so you could any of you could. It's just the idea is that it's technically what a great sword.
It's a great sword, but I wield it
But
one-handed as a long
It's
sword.
like an extra great sword. Like all the stats are the same. It's just bigger. So it's meant to be more like.
It literally just for flavor purposes.
Yeah.
It's a giant sword.
Well, I
So
guess
you could carry it. It would just be silly.
I can carry Melicroft.
We'll retcon
I
and
can
say I
have
have
to carry him. I
Melly.
hope he
I'm
turns
full
around.
inert, so I'm
So-
a statue. I'm not like limp. I'm a statue.
I mean, that actually makes you easier to carry. So.
And his eyes are out.
Anari's gonna look outside and see how the pulsing is looking. Is it still pretty
Is
consistent?
it faster, slower,
Make,
brighter, dimmer?
make a investigation check.
I'll just retcon and say I was like, I fucking hell, and I went
You
and
roll
got
better
it.
than I do,
Came back
so-
with
Yeah,
the
go get the
sword.
sword.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You need a low roll on
Do
your
you
girl.
think Eric Talk could maybe talk to Freya, turn him back on? We need him.
Well, I believe he probably needs to be devout for arrow talk for it to really work. Y'all
Not
could.
bad. 16?
Yeah, you're able to kind of discern from yesterday kind of tracking, like counting, to today counting. It seems to have slowed down by, we're talking milliseconds, but just like slightly. If it was like a 4-second wavelength before, now it's maybe like 4.15 seconds.
There's more light or there's less light?
Both. That
Oh,
rotation of it going.
The pulse.
The pulse is
Oh, okay.
Like if you were counting from where the dark stopped and the dark started again, like it got bright, got dark. That wavelength, that one wave, has now gone a little bit farther. So both sides, right,
taking-
bright and dark.
It's taking her a little bit longer to keep it sealed.
Shit.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
And
little bit
we
slower,
in
but
order to power her, do we need to? Well, not me, of course, but pray.
I mean, you have to be devout for someone to receive your prayers.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little
Red
sacrilegious.
sheet.
I mean,
I
she
don't know.
wasn't devout, and that worked out.
And you
fine.
set it off, so.
I mean, you started it. Would you like to give it a shot? Would you like to pray to Freya?
You can
Fuck
even
it, I'll
fake pray
try
if
it.
you
I
want.
don't mind. We need to get him back
I
online.
could real pray for this one.
So like he did mention like doing it in groups.
Okay, well let's
Real.
try it. Okay, let's try it. Okay.
Let's all grab hands.
Do we have to hold hands? All right, fine.
Is everyone else grabbing hands?
Pray.
Sure.
No.
Suppose.
You don't care about Melicroft?
I do, that's why I'm carrying him.
We haven't started moving. We need to pray first.
How heavy is
For someone who
Like 600 pounds.
We need to pray first.
you're not very helpful.
Why aren't you praying?
I did pray. I've got the answers.
And I got us a ship,
Can we?
so.
Why don't we just call it talking to Freya? Let's just.
Yes, talk to Freya.
Let's real talk to Freya.
That's real talk.
Okay.
Real talk.
I want it, dude,
All right.
TBC.
I will attempt.
All right.
I'm willing to be a part of the team.
I'm gonna grab Malacroft's hand.
Put him in on this.
Now we need to do like a full circle. Make sure he's
Alright. Okay.
Mr. Hatman.
Why isn't anyone holding hands?
we're holding hands.
We're symbolic. No,
Oh, we're actually holding hands.
We're actually gonna hold hands. And we'll act like y'all are holding hands. But, Cornelius!
Callan feels very
Please.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
Big
have to hold my
brain.
head, but you have to hold my hand.
Oh God.
Hold
All
her
right.
You guys are holding Melcroft's inert hands.
All right.
Who is
Give me
leading
touch
this
tips.
real
You,
talk?
I'll do it.
Touch
I'll
your
do it.
tips.
Okay.
Don't suppose Yogod has anything to say about this?
I don't fucking know. I
Freya.
don't really know what's happening.
How are you leading? Go ahead.
Yes, I've got it. We're fine. Freya. I know you only have one amongst us that actually worships you. We need him to help you. We want to help you. We are surrounded by people who pray for you and worship you that help us, and we're here to return the favor, but if we're going to do that, we need you to bring back Melicroft. We need him back to do that. Please let us help you.
No response.
That was a nice visual, though.
It is.
This is juicy.
Shut up, you're inert.
You don't feel like that type of communication even reached anything. You don't feel like it felt like you were just talking to nothing.
We'll go
Okay.
try.
Yeah, let's just get him.
I
Callan,
felt
do you need
moved.
help? You got it?
No.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the ship.
Oh look, a pack mule.
Damn.
Not the time, Inari.
God, I love you, baby.
Me too. We'll throw Melicroft out. We'll use Melicroft as a club.
It's just.
All right,
On our way to the
relationship is
Jensen.
strong.
Jensen.
We already got you.
We already got
Yep.
Jensen's
I
stuff.
already got the
Wise.
sword. We got the sword. I gave it to Caehanna.
You grab my
Got
alchemy
it.
jug?
Good job.
I didn't remember that when we.
Wait, so I should
He
get
did.
over
He
it.
did. He did.
Sure.
Sure.
It was more like me and Seamus actually not remembering that was
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got everything done.
Jensen remembered.
Jensen hasn't forgotten anything except for the
Right.
invisibility.
I just think it was more of like a supply thing.
Before I got back to it, I was like, scotch, and I filled up my little flask. I drank that last time.
Well, shit.
Yeah, we used it for an entry.
All right.
Alright.
Going to meet your
Ship.
grandmother.
Ship away.
Spelljammer.
Yep. So you guys, while carrying seemingly piece of scrap metal across the well-dressed, beautiful cloak,
You know,
but
princess style
through
wearing.
the city. I do just gotta ask, do you guys say anything to Danae's parents or
Oh,
wife?
yeah,
or
we
anything?
They just carry
Okay.
Listen, you didn't, but I just want to give
We
that
don't get
opportunity.
any answers.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know, we
And they
think
make
about
us
it.
keep it here.
We don't want
Alright.
to concern
Well, I
them.
do want to send.
I say we just take him.
Well, if you guys can wait a minute, I'll go try to find them because I did want to send something. I talked to him about sending something to.
But don't
Melissa.
mention Melicroft being inert.
Nerd. We're all nerds.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could avoid that huge,
Yes.
huge information. Okay, fine.
I think that they would want him to stay here and take care of him, and we need him with us in case he turns back on.
Okay, I'll go find him and
They're
let him
going to
know
be
that
concerned.
he's on the ship with us.
Yes,
Good
We
enough?
already said goodbye. Okay.
he
Yes.
did. He's just don't even mention
Well,
Melicroft.
I think he said that he was asleep.
Don't even
for
mention
us, like I
Melicroft.
did last time.
Do you think
Go, Cornelius.
I gotta see if I can find them.
Leave.
You find Bruvid. Siobhan is difficult to find in the mornings. It's usually where she has her moment of solitude. So Bruvid he's always around. Not hard to find.
Okay, I find him in Bruvid, right? Melicroft's father?
I feel like we've been hosting you for days.
Well, I've had a few drinks here in this free establishment because drinks are free flowing.
Of course, we adopted a boy. So,
Right.
yes.
Well, I would just like to say that he is in perfectly good health with us on the ship and nothing to worry about with him. And we are gonna go.
I need you
God!
to make a deception check.
All you had to say was get this package somewhere.
What's the fun in that?
4. Shane said exactly what I was thinking. This is fun.
What's going on?
In all seriousness, it's just we're worried about going over to Mauritian. And so,
What?
Yes, I know. I spoke to him last night. First order of business, real quick. I wrote this letter, and it's a letter to...
First order of business.
It's
Selfish.
It's the LRL. It says Caehanna on it. He goes, plus this sack of money. If you could find a way to deliver that to her, please. And it's...
He looks... It's difficult. Actually, let's do this the D&D way. Roll an insight check.
2.
Jesus, 20.
Man, those little rolls.
I rolled
there,
in different
right?
ones.
Oh, damn it.
Well, it's really, really hard for you to understand if Bruvid is incredibly offended or genuinely curious. And there's a line to be walked here with what you say next, but the face he's giving you is either that of extremely offended or very curious. He's not saying anything, just took it from you.
I guess I'll drop the tone as much sincerity as possible. Go. He mentioned that you may be, because we have to leave now, under orders of
Jericho.
You asked Adam for a name,
Yes.
and he had it right.
He did.
I think I'm afraid of.
Hey,
How the turntable?
Under orders of Jericho, we have to leave this morning to go do something on behalf of the family. I, not knowing if I'm going to be back, was giving this money to you in hope because Millicroft mentioned to me that you may be able to get that letter as well as the money to a family member of mine in case I don't see them.
he looks at just the cover letter for a second. He's like, "This is in it's not far.
No.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we'll take care of it for you."
Lovely. And Millicroft is currently having a crisis of faith, which is why I was reluctant on trying to say exactly what he's going through. But
Crisis of faith. That'd sound like him.
well, I think with the extraneous circumstances put onto Feria, that I can't remember. Freya.
Hey, what are you doing right now?
Beta Faria.
You're Millicroft's
I know
god.
another god.
The circumstances with Freya is he's having a hard time embodying his power as much as he used to. You know, clever way.
I like it.
Well, the way faith works is you have to put in effort. So just tell them to keep trying at it.
Will do. Well, anyways, I do have to run. My apologies for making you feel worried for your boy, who's who's a statue or who's a metal person. I gotta go.
It's tough to track.
Thank you very much for that, and I will do everything in my power to make sure he comes back to you.
Sweet.
See you.
This is the most chill period I've ever had.
Sick.
Yeah, thanks. I screwed that, did you?
He's great with the folks.
How are you so bad at talking to people in D&D? Me?
I don't know.
Like, not like you're great role playing, but like you choose the words that are just not always the best for the situation.
That's Cornelius.
I like dipping my toe in trouble. It's like, oh, I'm actually gonna sink in this. I'm gonna do that. That's quicksand. All right.
I love it. It's my favorite. Okay. So you catch back up to the group. To your knowledge, yeah, he's definitely going to deliver that. The rest of you just kind of scoot towards the
We're scooting
to
towards
the castle.
Yeah.
Yes.
His father doesn't know anything's wrong with him, but
I would-
make sure he works later.
I would also like to warn everybody that if you thought my grandmother was proper and tense, that my grandfather is times a billion.
Are we talking to him today?
Possibly.
I will keep my mouth shut.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like?
I would prefer to, I would like you to be a Bexley.
Will do.
Who do I get to be?
No one. You get to. You get to be you and quiet.
No one.
You can be quiet with me.
Because my grandmother may scold you, and if you were to speak out of turn, my grandfather would kill you. Point blank.
I liked you, grandmother.
So I love her. She's great. Comparative to my grandfather.
I might like him more then.
Depends on what you say. Just so everyone understands. Yeah. Has he walk? Has any movement happened from Melicroft this whole time we're carrying him?
No.
Is it possible if I put my hands on him to like try to put some kind of divine energy into him? I don't even know if that's plausible.
Of course it's possible.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do that.
You can certainly try.
I can
You
certainly
can
try.
cast a divination spell and see if it works.
Yeah, can I try that?
What spell?
You would need to be at the divination school of magic.
Oh, I don't have this.
You do.
Okay.
You
Well,
just need-
while she does that, I'm gonna go up to Melicroft and
See what says education.
see if that works at all.
He's cleaner.
I don't think I have this.
Quick, one of the brotherhood here. They ain't forgiving us.
Of course you
We
do.
see a symbol.
Is that remember the Astro Abysmal brother?
The Abysmal brother?
Somebody knocks
Yes,
down
you
a wall in the other.
Wait, let me see if I have any divination.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have one. I am of the attacking base.
I have guidance.
That would work. I just think it needs a divination spell.
Right. I'm going to.
Guide him.
That's what I
guide his
do.
soul.
That's what I'm
back
gonna
to
do to guide him. Is
Oh my god, I love it.
Boots up an arm.
You can take that off your spell select, but nothing happens.
okay. It's a cantrip. It's fine.
Oh, even easier.
I don't know.
You know, it's funny. Next to the guidance spell, where it says like what it does, it says buff, and that is what I did to cast guidance on him.
That's good.
Nice. It's fantastic.
When your D&D player takes it too literally.
I thought that's what it meant to do. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Love him.
He's quite shiny in that one spot.
All right. Well, you all you finish this short journey to the castle. There are an immense amount of guard throughout the city. There's a lot of action around the walls, just in preparation. You can tell that throughout the night they've been working, and the wall that's sort of on the western-facing side that overlooks the big bridge, that is now almost twice as tall. With not natural fortification, but they've put up like boards and things like that to build it up. But the guard in the front recognize most of you, and as you approach, there's a signal that goes back to the castle. Shortly, the doors open and Lady Asana walks out to greet you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on here?
Ding ding.
So, bit of a mishap.
He's napping, I guess. Never seen
we
him do it.
have learned. Can we speak inside? Grandmother?
I don't think that's best.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Apparently, we've learned, my group has learned that Freya is at the Divine Gate, keeping it closed with her own power, and our friend Danae was powered by her power. And so, our conclusion, I would imagine, like the consensus, is that she is using so much energy to keep it closed that her power is leaving the material plane, and hence our friend. So we are keeping him with us, so hopefully he powers back on it sometime.
Limits of all.
Okay. Well, if everyone is ready, I think we can make our way to the ship.
Oh, yeah, the princess carries him. Oh,
I'm imagining that I was like mid.
I feel like this way I would hit each and every one of you. Like,
yeah.
I imagine him like he was like mid step, and so you can like hook your arm into like my elbow or something and throw it over your shoulder. Like I'm in such a way.
Piggyback ride.
As you guys are all talking, she's like, "Okay, we'll make our way to the ship." Some of the guards sort of spread out of the way, and there's like this path that leads down, kind of around the side of the castle. And as you all start to sort of march down this way, you see walking up the trail is this. Describe him. He looks lanky, but not. From the distance, he looks like he is very. He's very slender, but as you approach, you realize he's incredibly tall, and his movements are that of aquatic nature. He's very fluid, and as he gets close enough to actually see, you realize that this gentleman is wearing sort of this like a brimmed hat with the sides flipped up, kind of like that Australian style hat, and his entire face seems like almost translucent. He's wearing like long sleeves and everything, so really the only skin you see is his face, but he's almost like a being of water that is able to hold construction and walk. And he looks down at you, and to be clear, he's like right around that 7 foot range, like height. So he's like
Utah.
Yeah, he's like a little taller than Callan, I think, by just barely about. But like everyone else, he doesn't have Callan's build, so he's just like. He's sort of looking down at everyone. Is this your crew? This is your crew. And Asana looks at him and says, "Yes, Niccolo, this is the crew. They'll be assisting you on the ship to the location we discussed." He says, "We're gonna need more. We're gonna need more. Come on now." And he turns and starts walking down the ramp. And there's a booming voice from behind. It says, "Halt!" Niccolo looks back. You can just see him, like you can visibly see him go, and then turn. And you all watch as this, well, the best way to describe Jericho is just a presence that he carries with him. There's an amount of authority, but there's also just an amount of like protective essence to him. Like there's something about him, like you can tell whatever he's about to tell you, or whatever when he's speaking, you can tell that there's a piece of it that is meant to be intimidating, but it's also it's kind of backed by reason of protection, right?
It's for your own good.
Yeah, like I think we all know someone who's like kind of scary, but like most of the time they're just looking out for you. They just have a weird way of showing it. That's sort of how Jericho just is. That's his presence. But he walks down this ramp past you all and ducks underneath Callan carrying. And he goes and shakes the hand of Nicolo. He says, "You would give him back safe, all right?" And the captain just sort of.
Callan is just
he just goes.
and
just like gives a salute, and it's just like this sloppy. He's like, that's all I do. That's what I do. And he looks at the rest of you. Jericho does. He says, "So this is the crew, huh? The mercenaries."
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, Sir Jericho. And this is Danae when he's powered on. As I told Lady Caehanna, he's powered by Freya, and Freya is incapacitated at the moment.
So, you're saying that the one person that could keep you all in check, that I trusted, is one, not the man I know, but this contraption that is not working?
Well, I mean, he is the man you know. He just...
The man I know was barely over 5 feet tall.
This
A
would be
beard down to his
This
chest.
would be a good time to turn on.
A beard down to his chest. This is a...
Can I make a prayer to Freya to turn on? Just out of sheer panic.
Please turn on. Please.
You can roll a D100 and tell me what you say.
I don't even know what we're going for, but let's go.
Well,
In my head, Callan is going to be...
does know this is him.
Callan is going to be, panicking, and it's probably just going to be, please, Freya, for the love of God, just turn him on for 2 seconds, please. Please. Just turn him on so he can talk.
Right now.
We got to do this. I rolled a straight 55. I don't know.
Well, how could it not be straight?
No, but it's
It's
a
a
good
curvy
number.
55.
Right in
I
the
got a nice and curvy 55 over here.
Well, you, again, don't feel any response.
Yeah, look at those high rolls, baby.
I don't know what I'm supposed to roll on this one.
I know.
The two will do it.
This, he was working.
Asana does step in. She says, "No, it's unlikely. But that is Danae. I'm not sure what this status is, but that is Danae."
Do we know where you keep your little lore keepers thing?
Probably
Just
start
start
filling him up.
We can prove that he's Danae based on the patches on his cloak.
I mean, I have, so other than the bag of holding, I have like a bandolier with like pockets and pouches and stuff.
So you're going through.
Here's his lore keeper.
You would have
badge.
seen me pull it out enough time.
His lore keeper badge, right?
I'm inclined to believe my wife when she speaks. My concern is more that he's not on. He seems to be the only one that I trust to keep you all in line. Nicolo needs to focus on the ship. Who can I trust to focus on the crew?
I understand you don't know me. I can promise you I've been keeping many of them in check as much as I can. I will make sure that they stay responsible.
He looks through you in a way. He looks back at Callan. Is it common for non-citizens to address lords without proper etiquette?
Sorry.
I apologize, Sir Jericho. She has been our leader in the mercenary work for 3 years now, 4 years now.
Why would your leader not be the clear citizen of the group? Who's this one?
I would like to introduce myself as the financial backer. I'm Cornelius Oram Bexley.
You know the family. From where?
My father earned his citizenship, and we're not entirely sure where he's from. He was raised as an orphan on the streets, but he did make his name at Hartmore. If you heard of Mancore Academy, he was a graduate there, one of the best ones.
Then why not trust him?
I do trust him, but I just
Speaking of responsibility.
there was.
Can you make an oath to me to keep him in check?
The
response of just a laugh. The face of him saying, "Can you make an oath to me?"
He goes, "Can you make an oath to me to keep him in check?"
I would love to do so and earn your trust enough to bring the ship back as well.
It's just I need to stretch.
As the only citizen here, I feel an obligation to rest assured that I may be a citizen, but there are better ones amongst this group than myself. I would give them the
Yes, but he's currently in off-status mode.
yeah.
Cornelius,
Fucking
just
break!
make the oath.
I'm being told I say yes.
He looks back at Callan. I do understand why he was not the first choice. With respect, sir.
No worries.
You seem to be stumbling over your words.
I'm incredibly nervous.
Well, he doesn't need to roll insight. He can see that. Well, Callan, I will entrust until Danae awakes. I will entrust the responsibility of this group of yours to you.
Yes, Sir Jericho. I will.
Your family seems to need you a lot more than you know right now, so I think your past is probably best to stay that way in the past.
Can I ask, is Mother okay?
To my knowledge, yes. I managed to get many of them out. My ability to move others through time and space is limited without a substantial rest, but I was able to get more than a few out of the city. I cannot disclose where with information you shared with me yesterday of there being a potential traitor in your group.
I understand.
Which one of you?
I was waiting for that.
Which one of you is the son of the Chemos?
Considering there's only 1, 2, 3
I need 3
males.
Citizens.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, listen, I understand that. I understand that a child is not responsible for the actions of their parents. However, it is upon the basis of strong family values that our entire continent is back. So I must know, if presented the opportunity, would you side with your parents, or would you side with my grandson?
You're asking me? I don't even know my parents.
I'm asking you. I understand they were taken when you were a child.
just agree, Levi.
Yes.
The man.
Excuse me?
I apologize. I outspoke my status.
If you break this pact to me, Kima, I hope you know my grandson will kill you.
Fair.
Isn't that right, Callan?
Yes, Sir Jericho.
And that goes for all of you. This mission is that of protection of the realm. There's a chance that I apologize for the words I'm going to speak, but as you said, you don't know them, so please do not take offense. There's a chance that the traitors you are going to assist may try to lure you upon their side. If this happens, it is my order for you all to remove the threat to the realm, leave no one left alive. Which shouldn't be a problem for mercenaries like you, eh? I'm gonna need a verbal confirmation.
Yes, Sir Jericho.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need a verbal confirmation.
I said yes. I said yes. Sir. My lord.
That works.
It's that simple.
Simple as it is.
And there's like a moment of kind of awkward silence where he's not speaking, but you're not sure if he's done talking yet. And he's like, he looks over to Asana and he says, I think it's time I go back to the capital, see what more good I can do there. Mithras is in your hands, lady. See to it that this inconspicuous aid has everything they need for the trip. Pleasure to meet you all. And he stomps back up the trail. Asana sort of looks at everyone and she's like, I think he likes you.
Sure.
Great. Great.
I felt that's awesome. Listen, I know him very well, and I felt there was a lot of respect that was earned from such a short conversation. Consider yourself in his favor. You don't want to be on the other side of it, so let's make sure we have everything we need. And then the next few, 30 minutes or so, like she assists with, and guards and knights help like load the ship. So as you guys finish going down this long trail,
Oh, I'm so excited to
it wraps
explore.
around.
I know.
You guys get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, me.
And Caehanna, you actually recognize, so when you were in the library and you went down below and there was that big opening.
Yeah.
So that big opening is essentially overlooking where the dock to the airship is, that's in that kind of valley. So you're like walking up and you kind of recognize and you look back upwards and you see sort of where that glassed library is. So you kind of recognize the location a little bit.
I was there, guys.
But this is significantly down below that.
Yeah.
So unless you walked up to the glass and like looked straight down, you probably wouldn't have seen the ship. But you're able to see everything else. So when you guys do see the ship, it's a fairly large airship. It can probably hold 30 to 40 people. Not as big as the First Lords that could hold 200 or 300. That's more like a cruise ship type of thing. This one's more like a yacht, right? It's pretty big. I mean, it's like, a Mark Cuban yacht, but it's not, it's still a very big ship. It sort of has these like wings that flap out on the side. You notice that it's kind of flat on the bottom, but rounded to break the air. And then you notice it's all made of wood, right? It's all made of wood, except for this platform that's on top. And right now it just looks like a big piece of stone. Just as you guys are approaching, walking down the trail, it just looks like a big slab of stone just plopped on the top. And Nicolo, as he's walking down, he's like, who's done the air traveling before? Anyone? Anyone?
No.
I've been on a vessel that's
Yeah, I've been on one. I haven't.
Just an atmospherical travel, or you going up above to the space?
No.
never been there before.
Gone through portals?
Gone through a
I've
portal,
been
not
able to fly
quite the same.
myself.
Close, but not quite the same. Cool. You guys are exactly what I was hoping for out of a crew.
Eager to learn.
Insight check?
Why do I feel disappointed?
I don't think you needed this.
Pretty obvious one.
But you know, I'll teach you what you need to know. Most of it's done by me. I sit on my little spell jammer throne there, and I do most of the flying. Mainly, what you guys need to do is things like keeping things tidy and clean, and cooking, and making sure that all the weapons are active, because we're going somewhere that apparently has places that are dangerous. And until we disembark and leave, let's keep the location of where we're going quiet to 0, okay? None of these soldiers need to know anything. Soldiers like to spread rumors. Rumors lead to... You understand. Okay. Let's get this thing loaded up, please. And he just kind of like flows. The way he walks is just kind of like very fluid.
You say.
And you see him once he boards the ship, right? You see him board this boat, and he walks up to that stone platform. And as he steps on the platform, the whole thing sort of like hums for a moment, and he just steps, and like the stone morphs around him into a chair. And you see him sort of like spinning his hands just in the air, and you kind of notice that one of the wings kind of moves its flat on one side, on the other side. He says, "Come on, you don't make yourself useful." And everyone's just getting.
If only you had someone in your group that delights in mundane tasks.
You're really the worst.
I'm quite used to
Sword on
cleaning.
Well, if only our group was better at puzzle solving, But
Good, we're gonna be carrying this guy around for 10 seconds.
so there's a little bit of downtime while people are loading things up, getting things where it needs to be. There's a few different kind of roles. No one needs to be assigned anything specifically, but if there were to be some sort of like combat or something like that, it needs to, like, everyone would need to go to specific places. But as far as just getting things up and going, there needs to be people doing like scrubbing of the top of the ship to make sure that it's aerodynamic and slick. There can't be any sort of like grit. Probably gonna need to assign somebody to cook, if any of you know how to cook, because
What kind of check is that?
I'd say nature.
Let me look.
Because I have survival.
Yes,
Let's
you
look
were
at what
right.
nature
I've got-
is.
Actually, a pretty decent nature check.
Depending on the food, maybe even animal handling.
I'm proficient in survival, so
Okay.
I'll do cleaning.
Yeah, I'm proficient in survival too, but
Proficient in none, so.
if we were,
like someone
I would love to
wants
scrub
volunteer.
the deck. So
if we
Yeah,
have survival,
I was gonna say I was.
What a
Yeah,
weird-
I'll
what a
scrub the
dream.
yeah.
if we have a little downtime, I want to tinker with him, and I want to see if there's a button or
Yeah.
a switch. Or
Search, look,
Yeah.
open compartments.
Maybe
Yeah,
he
you guys
needs
are-
to fake
just
print
open
it.
them all up.
disassemble.
It's weird because when
Yeah.
you open
Clean
different
those
compartments and
toilets.
things, and you've seen him do all this, so you know there's a lot of like mechanical doodads going on. But when you open up like his arm panel, it's just empty. It's just, I mean, there's not like this series of like musculature that you've seen when he activates. It just looks like a suit of armor right now.
I meant to ask, do I see any light from him at all? As far as citizenry or not? Like, light?
Oh, from him?
Yeah.
Not right now.
Completely gone?
So, then how did he stay?
Yeah, he
We're
said
gonna
it's a
remove the
puzzle,
helmet. Is there anything inside the suit of armor at all?
The skull.
A skull floating through.
Flaming skull.
It's just a suit of armor.
Where did he
Oh my
go?
god.
Did we leave Melicroft behind?
Do we have a locate?
Well, I don't
That's
think
not
we
me.
left
I mean,
Melicroft behind.
who's
He's
looking?
an entity
Yeah.
of like religious faith, so I mean we can't really leave that behind. So
Yeah, but he was a mechanical thing empowered by magic. So there should be a thing to be empowered by.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
doesn't
I
take this
don't
off.
Someone did. Someone had locate. Was it you?
I don't know. Okay.
Is it you that has locate?
Yep.
Locate.
Yes.
You would talk.
I think.
Velcro's not here.
Oh,
Yes, locate magic.
Locate object?
Detect magic.
Oh.
Locate object too,
We
yeah.
didn't- That's what we're
Who's the fastest of us?
on.
What's your speed?
Probably Melicroft.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
35, I
Yeah.
mean, but I can go 70, and then I can also Misty Step if need be.
I got Misty Step,
I've
but
Misty Step.
Well, I just meant who has the fastest movement speed.
I think
Not me.
I have 30, so.
I have
Okay,
30.
so then it's
Yeah.
it's
That's you.
me at 40.
You have
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you are
Cool,
tall.
bud.
You don't think his mother took him?
How tall
Well,
are
I
you?
think maybe he was in a different suit of armor and he doesn't know he left. Maybe.
How could a different suit of armor?
Like I said, he never takes it off.
But he could probably change armors.
But Caehanna, did you see
He's
anything?
been rocking
'Cause
this shit the whole time.
it happened at some point in the night.
How far away is the temple from here? Shit. How far away is the temple?
It's across town. Takes a 10-minute, 15-minute walk.
How,
You guys have done
how
it
much
multiple
longer are
times.
they going to be getting the ship ready?
It's tough to tell. I mean, they're loading like food. They don't know how far the journey is, so they're over preparing.
Is my grandmother here?
Not down here, no.
Okay.
She's back in the castle.
It'd probably take 30 minutes.
I mean, we can go
Yeah,
and
go
tell
talk to
Nicola
Nicola.
that we need to wait like
Captain
10
Niccolo,
minutes.
Yes.
I have to
Please.
make one quick run while things are
Okay.
being loaded. Cool. And I will
Bolt with him.
I'll drop my weapon and just book it back to the
Oh,
temple.
he meant to click.
Like parkour over shit. Just parkour.
Are you taking him with you, or are you leaving the?
I'm leaving the armor set because he's not in it. So
Yeah.
either he wakes up there or he wakes up at the other place. So
Okay. Oh, he's going to go missions. Okay. We won't leave without him.
and then I'll go straight to Broodvid. Was that a Broodvid?
Bruvid.
Broodvid. Broodvid.
Bruvid.
Brew. BRUVID.
Bruvid.
He loves to
Broodvid.
drink beers, he's brew.
Broodvid. And like when I get there, huffing the. Your wife is an armorer, correct?
Yeah.
Did she make a new suit of armor for Melicroft?
Nah. Wait. No.
Do you know who her smith is?
She's her own smith, yeah.
Do you know where her forge is?
Of course.
And it is.
Where?
I feel like I'm talking to an Ari.
Now that's
You're welcome.
I don't know what you mean.
Where is her forge?
Oh, it's in her own private quarters.
Can you take me there? Because
Can you tell me what you need first? She doesn't really like to be disturbed when she's smithing.
I got
fuck it, you know what? Melicroft's armor is already on there. Melicroft is not in his suit of armor that we just carried
Who's Oh, Danae.
today to the ship that we're about to go on. Because, you know, he's armor with things inside of it, and there's no things inside of it. So we're wondering if he's in a different set of armor that your wife has created, or his mother. So we'd like to ask your wife, or his wife, whoever might know.
There's just no way any of that.
Insight check.
Yeah, do an insight check.
Just humor him.
14.
You can tell it just doesn't believe what you're telling him.
You know, Danae is empowered by Freya, correct?
But we all are.
Debatable.
That was Adam.
It just seems like now, at all times, we need to express more. Like right now, you're panicked and you're angry, but I think that's.
Panicked is a good word. I'm not angry. Panicked is a good word.
You seem angry with me, but like you can.
No, Inari says my friend Inari said something earlier, and that just carried over.
But to truly be intact with Freya, you need to show compassion and love and forgiveness.
I will show all of those things when my really good friend Melicroft is talking again. But until that happens,
I just don't know how to help you, mate. She
I would-
does not know how to do that.
I would love to talk to your wife to confirm.
Let me see if she'll come down. I'll go talk to her.
Awesome.
And he kind of climbs up the stairs, one little dwarf foot at a time.
Take a sweet time.
Yeah, he's in no rush, right? He's in no.
Where did we find Melicroft?
He was just sleeping.
Well, no, he was standing, but where was he standing?
I would assume that I would have been like out in the hall on my way to go talk to Bruvid and Siobhan, and just something happened between. I just imagine I was like in the hall.
Okay.
In the hall.
Just powered down.
The SpongeBob quote.
So I imagine him like mid strides, you ever like hook an arm under his.
Okay. I'll take a look around. Is there black metallic pieces laying about? I don't know.
Yeah, is there a black skull anywhere?
No.
Damn,
No, there's nothing like that. It looks like he's big, so like his like you think you would have seen like something like if anything was off, but it was how it would have been when you like he always is afterwards. But a few moments later, Siobhan and Bruvid both come down. She's like, but that doesn't make any sense at all. No one can just disappear right out of a suit of... Yes, love.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
I wanted to know if you'd made a different set of armor for
That's
today.
what he was saying. He was asking me, and I said I wasn't able to work with dragon scales, but...
But did you have any other armor sets, full sets, that were available for him to use?
No, I don't have anything that big.
Okay.
I don't have anything that big.
Did you talk to Danae last night?
Yeah.
I would have told Bruvid and Siobhan
Right, yeah, you
what we
went
were
and told
going
them,
to do.
But
He
on
said
the
they were
way.
going. He was going on a mission comparative to security and safety of the world, but
Big.
I mean, honestly, Danae's always up to something, you know.
Because Danae
Yeah.
is a what's the word? Callan wouldn't know the word. Thing.
A loving son.
Oh, that he is too. But he's a thing also brought back to life by Freya to be mechanical.
Because of his loving devotion.
Yes. Now that was inside of a suit of armor and like melded with it, right?
It was difficult to comprehend, but you know.
So now the thing is just a suit of armor, and there's no thing inside of it. Not even the mechanical part.
It's a bit worrisome.
It is. So I'm wondering, because he was found right there, if something happened to him. Well, did he go to a different set of armor and did someone take him out? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Insight check. Was a 14.
She doesn't know.
He's I keep wanting to say Melicroft. Danae's wife here, or his children.
They only come at night.
Yeah, well, he was around here, so.
I don't think this is where we're needing to go.
No.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Have
fun on your trip.
I want to take one last look around, just in case I'm missing something.
Make a
Yeah, I'm
investigation
thinking
check.
we might need to take him to the vein.
Quite a ways away.
No.
Oh, shit.
No.
Gotta be local. It's
Then I'll just book it back to the ship.
Okay.
No, I was
I don't know what else to do.
nowhere close to
Is it
here.
on this continent?
Yeah.
The nearest.
Not the nearest. I'm trying to think
There
of
is
the thing
someone
that he
who would
got.
know. That's not me.
Okay.
I guess
You go back to the boat.
Callan wouldn't know that.
I mean,
so
I don't think we might.
you guys said that, so you guys are talking about that.
we
I'm
can
not
talk
there.
to Oros.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oros would be one.
I will head back to the ship.
What do you guys do? He knows where a Fane is?
Yeah, we might need to take him to the nearest fane. You know, it's a site of.
Well, the tower's right next to a fane.
Right, so
That's
that's,
where
what
you'll
I'm
find
saying. Think
Kira.
maybe we should pop him in there for a quick second just to see if. I mean, that's where the most power.
Or,
That's what the people who real prey to malice were doing. They're using those as sources of power.
or the thing that you died in originally.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really far away.
Yeah, it is.
We might
understand.
We might want to start with the
mystical
local
voice in the
We can try
sky.
it. I mean, if that's
There's no harm in it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Sort
I
of
would think we
close
try
to
that because it's local. And we can still get that in.
Yeah, let's. I mean,
I mean, if that's a source of her
Toss him
energy,
off
it might be
the
no
edge.
harm
stick
in
him in a
Alright,
fane and see how it goes.
Just stick him in a fane. Here.
Solar power.
maybe, yeah. In essence, yeah, around it. It's like
I mean, I could try that. I don't know how long that would take.
I have no idea.
Probably not long at all if you pick him up and you dash like
Yeah,
you did
I guess
before.
like
Alright, come back. Go back.
pick him up and
Come back, go back.
Take him to a fane.
Oh, great! I'm glad that you're back, and we've been waiting.
Oh God.
Oh, you're leaving again.
one more thing.
Okay.
I'm scrubbing that
Okay,
deck, so
everyone.
Me too.
15 minutes until we lift off.
This
or-
deck
or
is
when
shiny.
I will dash hard as much as I can.
Well, hard dash.
Is anyone else going with
I
him?
will follow.
I'm
I will
not.
follow. For
I'm
that.
scrubbing the deck.
Yeah.
yeah, there's no
I'm
point.
gonna-
I'll slow you down.
I'm gonna be.
Who's cooking? Is anyone cooking?
Cornelius.
I'll do it.
Cornelius is cooking.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a weird talent. It's called intuitive motion, which means I have advantage, or I have plus stats to any land vehicle. I was going to see if you would be willing to transfer that over. But, anyways,
To do what?
just any time, like I was going to be like, hey, is there anything on this boat that needs to be helped, like to keep everything moving and see if, like, whatever.
Like the engine room.
I'll do the cooking. Like, I hope you guys like noodles.
I do actually.
I will take anything.
Okay, so you run him back to the Fane, which was right where you just were.
Yeah. I actually thought the temple was the Fane this whole time. Like
It's
it was
right next to
actually.
it. So essentially, the Fane is outside, sort of on this like green belt
Yeah.
in a way, where like there's grass surrounding it, and then the tower's right. Like,
Yeah, I think I always thought it was like just a different floor, and we were. So I think that's how I was picturing it, but that makes more sense of why people would leave the tower to go to the Fane. So,
Well, because the tower is still a place of worship. It's just not the literal Fane of Freya.
so but yeah, I'll take him right in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sit down.
So, everything you've been to,
Yeah.
and you've surprisingly been to a few. Everything you've been to has been more or less desolate, empty, completely vacant. This one, it seems like Bruvid's sending has reached a lot of people, and there's dozens, like 30, 40, 50 people all in this Fane, and you're like running up there and you see them all, and it creates like a little bit of hesitation because they're all like seated in a way that are like kind of cross-legged in this kind of semicircle. And now by the time you get back, you notice that both Bruvid and Siobhan are at the front of this, dressed in their like sort of Nordic robes. And they seem to be kind of speaking to these people right now. What do you do as you approach?
Is there a path in that I can get him in, or is it like I have to barrel through people to get in?
I mean, people will probably get the fuck out of your way.
Yeah.
No, but I mean more of like are
Big
they?
man bringing a bigger.
I guess
man.
I because the last time you described a Fane,
There's two doors.
it was a house.
Yeah, there's like two doors.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is like the Pantheon style.
Oh, so it's
or
open.
Parthenon
Yeah.
style.
So it's just
Thank
open. If I can just go around them and go through a different set of poles,
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, there's ways to get in, sure.
Then I will go where I don't mess up their sermon, because to me, if they're praying, there's power here.
Mhm.
And I don't want to stop their praying if I can just go around
Okay.
and place them in.
Yeah. What are you trying to do when you place them in?
Set him down and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You and
Yeah.
Set them down
Yeah.
and
Feria, what are you guys doing?
I guess kind of
I
pray
can
myself.
Drop him, just drop him, be like,
Well, not
do it.
throwing him down.
Try to
I
put
can't
him in
move
the
him.
cross-leg
Like it'll break, I
position.
imagine. So
Can,
Just-
is he
just-
malleable? Can you move his body?
No, he's.
So
Oh.
I mean, what I would
I think
think
he
is
said he
we
was
would,
gonna walk.
what I would think is we would bring him in and try to be inconspicuous as possible and
Yeah.
set him quietly to the side so he's in the Fane.
He's up
two guys
against
are
the
really
wall.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
understand.
even,
Yeah, he's leaning against the
I wouldn't
wall.
even do that. I would, if what I'm imagining is like, if there's not pews, but there's a center point, right, where there's a statue or a cross, whatever there is.
So for a praying point.
If his parents are here and the thing's here, I'm gonna put him right behind his parents. But I'm just going around, so I'm not interrupting what they're doing. I'm just kind of like sneaking behind.
Sneaking up behind them in the middle of us.
And I'm just like, if they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is your child.
This
So
child.
he's placed down like a Sasquatch symbol.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've seen him. And both Bruvid and Siobhan obviously stop. They're like,
I
look.
keep praying, please. Just, this is our last shot. Just keep praying.
He's your friend.
Deeply good friend.
You know how to pray to Freya.
No.
I
Both of
can
you.
try.
You know how to pray to Freya.
I tried this morning. I heard nothing.
I
I didn't ask. Do you know how to do you know how to pray? Do you know how to pray to Freya?
no.
No.
Both of you have been companions to our son, and they like repeat this backwards to everyone. They are companions to our son. Your courage and your companionship towards him deserves nothing but our praise and our affection. You are loved by not just us, but everyone in this fane. And everyone's at the same time says, we love you. And it's not a weird, cringy type of like, we love. It's just like, they're like, yeah, we love.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
we
drink
love,
the
we
Kool-Aid
love them
type?
too. Like they took care of our Danae. We love them. And then they look back and he says, that's how you pray to Freya. We appreciate what you've done for our son. What has he done for you? Tell her.
Oh, you have to appreciate it. So she'll turn in and she'll say, I know you're Danae here, but you are Melicroft to us. You are Melicroft to me. Melicroft, I was alone in the Underdark. I had no one. You were one of the first to come back. Please come back to us. We need you. The Underdark needs you. We need you. Our group needs you. You need to come back. Please come back. We love you.
Why do you love him?
He gives
Don't
everything.
plead.
You give everything. You give everything you have, everything you are to everyone around you. You continue to give even when you have almost nothing left. You continue to give even after you died. You are someone that needs to be here because we want to give to you the same way you give to us.
They want to give to him the way he gave to them. That is love, reciprocated. My son, how about yourself? What does Melicroft mean to you?
When one loses a family member, it is hard. It is painful to remember. One can spiral and one can lose themselves. And when one causes that loss, it is devastating. And he'll look at Melicroft. Melly, you became my brother when I lost mine. When I took mine. And yeah, I've never said it, and I probably should. But I love my brother. I love all my brothers. And I need my brothers. So I'm not asking you to come back. I'm telling you to get your sorry ass down here. Because I need my brothers. And I'll give him a hug. Even like in the weird position he's in. Like I'll try.
Siobhan and Bruvid, again, sort of every once in a while, as you're speaking to him, you're not yelling, you're not projecting, but you are speaking in a sincere way to Melicroft's frame.
Yeah, I prefer to do it that way.
Inert form.
Yeah, and every once in a while throughout your speech, if you will, they will sort of double back to everyone, Your brothers, you need your family. He requests him to return because he needs him. Love is both giving and taking. Right now, he's giving his love because he plans to take it back later.
Oh my god, you're giving him the taking.
There you go.
Two sides of the same thing.
Melicroft. She hit the wires with her tail.
Just once.
Just barely.
Clumsy.
You're the worst. Melicroft. There's a pulsating light in a sea of nothing. There's nothing around you. There's nothing above you. There's just a bright orange to white light that keeps fading and getting stronger, and getting softer, getting stronger and softer. And as you sort of lock in on the direction of where this is, you realize that you're not held by gravity or friction or any sort of tactile ways. You're not standing. You don't feel like you're being held. You just you are. And as you look around, you notice the wrinkled skin, tan, wrinkled skin of a very old man. You look down and your beard kind of scratches at your neck, and you look around, which is a sensation you haven't felt in a long time.
Ooh.
And this light that keeps flashing back and forth. You seem to be pulled towards it in a way where you don't feel like you're moving, but it's definitely getting closer this whole time as you're looking around experiencing this. As you get close enough to where this is such a blinding light, the thing that you've been seeing, not only in this space, but also from the ground yesterday, last night, before you went to bed, before you went on this long slumber, you felt this presence of this pulsating thing that you've been told is a divine gate. But now you see it. And it's not what you expect. It's not just a big cage with a lock on it. It's seemingly an entire star. It seems like a planet, but so much bigger. Has so much power and radiance. You can feel it. Like, you can feel it burning into your skin as you get close. And as you get close to this ever-growing light source of immense gas and pressure, you can see that there's flames shooting off, and there's eruptions happening all the way around this dark red and orange and yellow sort of star. But every flame that keeps trying to escape, trying to break past and get into this atmosphere that you are, is being contained by this force field that is just pure white light. And holding on to this force field is a very youthful looking female. She's as you get close enough to actually see her, she's no more than 16, 17 years old in the appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And she's dressed very similar to how Siobhan dresses, with sort of the like furs but it's clearly a different woman. Dark black hair, tattoos all down her spine as you see only the back of her holding this force field. And you can feel, like, as you get closer, she keeps like shriveling, and then you see her just continue to get stronger in the other direction. You see her hands start to glow, and you see this like force field just kind of condense into the star a little bit. And she looks back and just sort of you see the profile of her face. You don't see her for her, but you see just the outline because it's so bright behind. You just see this outline of this face, and it gives that youthful quality. You know this is Freya. You know this is Freya in her prime form. This was what Freya looked like in the eyes of Sol. And she's containing this star from erupting. And she looks back at you, and she just focuses. And you watch as the star itself crunches, and then this force field that's been holding it in grabs on itself and kind of locks, and you see it just, and boom, there's this bright white light that scatters across the cosmos, and you're like, you blink because it's so bright you have to close your eyes. When you reopen them, both of you watch as Melicroft just and his purple glowing eyes just open after seeing Freya. Then he sees both of you, and he sees his parents and all of his loved ones who also worship Freya behind. You're back.
Alright, time to go.
Oh, thank fuck!
Fuck! Say bye to your parents.
What?
We're going on the
all of
ship
you,
in like
all
5
of you,
seconds.
all of you that are on the boat, all of you that are here, you notice the pulsating has gone away, and it's just it's like the most bright day you've seen in forever. It's just that, it's the bright side of that pulsation.
Steady bright.
Steady bright. As it slowly fades back to normal. But those that are on the ship and look up and see it, it's just like, the sun's over here, and then up there it's like, whoa. And then it just slowly kind of fades back, and it's gone.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm going to turn to Bruvid and Siobhan. She has succeeded for now. Whatever we've done, whatever you've organized, it's worked. I just got to, I was allowed to witness Freya in that moment.
Everything across all of Thaldrin was assigned and tasked with hosting a similar sermon. I'm not sure what Freya would call that, but I'm going to say sermon.
Yeah, sermon ritual, whatever.
Not ritual. Congregation. And looks like she just needed to be reminded how strong she was with the support of us.
I can tell that what she was going through was taking a great toll on her, and it was through the actions of everyone combined that allowed her to succeed this time. Given the condition she was in when I first witnessed her, I don't know if she'll be able to overcome that again unless we do our best to continue sending her support and giving her what we can, you know. Have I told you lately that I love you? And I'll look to both my parents.
And we love you, as they repeat, and we love you, everyone behind says it with them.
That's not creepy.
And have I told you two lately that
Yeah, that's great. We got to go.
We are very glad you're back, and we love you too. We gotta go.
Either I pick you up, or you walk, or you run. But we're going.
Okay. I love you guys. Is my immediate, like my kids and stuff there too?
They're here.
I'll go give them all hugs. I love you. I love all of you. I will return soon. I will not have to leave that time.
He doesn't listen very well.
I'm doing it.
Your oldest son sort of leans in and whispers because he knows it's supposed to be a secret location. He says, "Gotta tell us what it's like."
I will. And then yeah.
Look at
He's running.
So you run to the ship and you get on, and Niccolo looks at everyone and is like, "Oh, good, we're ready to go."
We're ready to go.
Excellent.
Let's go.
So,
thank you.
That's where we're gonna end this session.
We don't take off.
You can't give us a take off.
No, that'll be a fun place to jump off. Next
Oh,
time.
yeah.
But I did repurpose Ombri's old ship,
Yeah.
Diplomat, and I gotta show y'all what it looks like. So it looks super cool. With the
As a chef on board, I'd like to say I hope you guys enjoy potatoes.
Boiling
Raw potatoes.
You didn't tell me what I was expecting.
Stick them in
By the way, that was not Shade did that. I didn't do anything.
God.
It wasn't like, oh, I want more attention.
You did that by creating that character.
Yeah.
I love the role play with you two, and I love the fact that it was you two.
That was so
there.
perfect. That worked out.
I love.
So I knew what needed to be done.
Yeah.
Almost as soon as he said, "Oh, you're not moving," I was like, "Huh?" And then he sent me a message, and I was like, "Okay." So when you two went, I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah, that
This
is
is great.
absolutely perfect. I love that.
Look at that. Oh, is that his little pedestal?
Yeah, that's a little pedestal I made.
That's slick.
I'm ready for a fight on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, magnets in there.
That is so cool. Me and Ari are right on top, scrubbing the deck.
Yep, you guys are on the top there. And there's the living quarters, and then here's the storage down below.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
I can't wait to use it.
I know.
What?
I get to use it.
I definitely just want you to give us something to fight.
See what I mean? He's the problem.
He just wants something to fight.
Or something to fight so we can use it.
I just want you guys to give me something to fight.